Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's doubleheader here at Leo High School as we wrap up the baseball regular season. We welcome today's visitor, the Homestead Spartans, to take on your Leo Lions. Before we begin today, let's meet the starting lineup for game one between the Spartans and the Lions. First of all, from the Homestead Spartans, coming in with a record of 22-5. Head coach Nick Fye. Leading off, playing shortstop for the Spartans, number 2, Jaden Lepper. Batting second, DH, number 20, Carter Matheson. And on the mound for the Spartans, pitcher number 16, Caden Tarango. Batting third for Homestead, first baseman, number 17, Caleb Colpine. Batting cleanup, second baseman, number 11, Brennan Weigert. Batting fifth, playing right field, number 14, Luke Palmer. Batting sixth and catching today for Homestead, number 8, Micah Long. Batting seventh, playing third base, number 10, Graham Colin. Batting eighth, playing center field, number 7, Braden Hardwick.
There we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
And we're getting levels now, folks. A little technical difficulty there to start off the morning. We started our broadcast, but I think none of you at home were hearing a word we said because I forgot to plug one item in. So welcome to, we'll start over again. Welcome to Leo High School. We got a beautiful day for baseball. We're playing the doubleheader today against Leo. We haven't played them yet this season, but we are finishing the season with a game against Leo.
Absolutely. Yeah, as they're just finished with the starting lineup announcements for Homestead, and the rest of the team's now out on the first base line, and the team is a little bit bigger, Dan, than it normally is. I think the JV Blue and JV Gold have wrapped up their seasons, and so we've got several players that have been called up, as they say, even maybe a couple additional coaches, so quite a full roster for Homestead. They're pretty much covering the entire baseline from home plate to first base.
Yeah, with the postseason fast approaching, it's kind of just like the majors and minors.
That's right.
At every level. Players get pulled up for the postseason games, and so your roster gets bigger. And I think we add, gosh, it looks like we've added 10 people to the team. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a good experience for some of those boys. We'll definitely be playing varsity full-time next year, get this experience. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them even get into the game today, as Coach Bile has to get his starters some playing time, some pitches from the mound, but also needs to be fresh and 100% ready for Wednesday's sectional playoff game.
Yeah, and you hate to say these games are meaningless because no game is meaningless. You want to win every game, but frankly, these games are meaningless. They have no bearing on any conference champions, any titles, anything. So you want to get some. You want to use them to keep your folks in shape, and you want to bring up the new guys and give them a chance to get some varsity play. And we're going to go to the national anthem.
James Craig. Out in the field, Mark Metler. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming out and giving
Well, it was a nice rendition of the national anthem there.
It might have been the longest rendition of the anthem we've had so far this year.
Yes, it was. So you see in the stadium here, it's a grass field, grass infield, grass outfield, dirt for the base paths, and looks like it's well maintained. But you know, we just played on a all turf field up in Northridge, a beautiful facility up there. But grass play is completely different than turf. Turf, there really aren't any bad bounces unless you somehow catch a seam, and the ball screams by no matter where it's hit because the grass isn't slowing it down.
Yeah, the only thing about turf is the spin on the ball sometimes affects those bounces, but it is a true bounce. Where grass and dirt, you're going to get some funny hops, but our sectionals at Huntington University will be played on grass and dirt, so this is probably a pretty good move by Coach Bile to schedule some grass dirt games heading into sectionals.
Yep, and I'm looking out at the field, and I can tell that it's not 100% level out there. I do see some lumps and bumps, and so
yes.
Grounders that are hitting the infield, balls that hit the ground out in the outfield. You can count on them not necessarily taking a true path, and you have to be ready for that.
Absolutely, and it looks like a familiar starting lineup. In terms of batting order for Homestead, we'll hit that as soon as iScore comes up. And from the Leo standpoint, Dan, we know maybe a couple of these players. We know Tyler Pappenbrook, really good pitcher, but he's playing first base in game number 1.
Yep, our boys play summer ball with some of these guys, and so there'll be some smiling, I think, going on out there while they're on the field together. And here we go with Jaden Lepper leading off. And that's called a ball outside.
Yeah, Jaden's kind of taken over that leadoff role again and pretty much been there all week.
And Jaden fouls one off.
All right, looks like this is Coley Stevens, number 21 for Leo on the mound. That's a fouled off for strike 2 for Jaden, so the count is 1-2.
And we got a little bit of a late start this morning, and I had a couple of technical difficulties in getting things set up, and that's why you're seeing the scoreboard just show up on the screen now. We started our announcing of the game. You might have seen our lips moving, but not hearing any sound from us. We figured out that our mics weren't plugged in. And that's a call, ball high.
Well, I've seen a lot of fastballs so far from the starting pitcher here. See what else he's got in his repertoire.
Counts 2-2. And that one's a low and inside, and the count goes full for the first batter, and no pitcher wants to start off with a full count on the first batter.
No, Jaden's doing a good job working the count here. Swung at a good pitch over the plate. Hasn't had another one since.
Jaden hits a sharp grounder straight up center. Nobody has a play on that one, and it's out to the center fielder. And Jaden is aboard on first. Great way to start a game.
That's what you want from your leadoff. Either get that walk or a hit single, any way to get on base. Great job.
So there goes the no-hitter for this pitcher.
I think I've only seen fastballs from this pitcher so far.
And, our team likes fastballs.
Yes, they do.
So Carter Matheson up to bat. Let's see if we can end the shutout.
Carter Matheson eats fastballs for breakfast.
And he fouls that one off.
That was the first off-speed pitch I've seen. Looked like a change-up low.
And Carter talks back to Caleb Colpine, who's in the on-deck circle, to let him know something. Something he just saw about that pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lazy pickoff move to first.
Yeah, sometimes when the pitchers have a curveball, a changeup, something different, they can have a tell. It might be a different arm slot, might be the way they're coming set a little bit differently as they move the ball around. So if he saw something, he's probably trying to communicate that to Caleb. Something with that off-speed pitch.
And that one's called strike on the outside corner. And the count goes to 0-2.
I'd be curious to see if how aggressive we are for stealing, as we normally are. Haven't seen this catcher throw down yet.
And Carter hits a sharp single that the shortstop makes a dive for but can't grab.
Jaden's rounding second.
Jaden's rounding second. He's at third, but they're going to hold him up at third. So we got runners at second and third. That's a double for Carter Matheson and 2 hits to start the game off.
Yeah, that's really smart hitting. You know, I think he loves to pull. That's where he hits most of his home runs, but another outside corner fastball, and Carter just hit it to left field. That's what you're taught to do.
Good hitting. And that brings up, speaking of good hitting, Caleb Colpine.
There we go. Good start for Homestead. Let's keep it going.
It would be hard to say there's a better hitter probably in the state of Indiana than Caleb Colpine. And Caleb fouls that one off for 0-1 count.
Yeah, he's been coming fastball quite a bit, so Caleb was sitting on that and just missed.
And Caleb gets a hanging curveball. He launches that thing to right field, and it one-hops the fence. Caleb's going to go for 2, it looks like, on this one, and Carter Matheson stumbles into home, but 2 runs score. Not sure what happened over there. The ground's a little uneven, I think, as you approach home plate.
I think he was getting ready to celebrate with some high fives and lost his footing a little bit there. Great piece of hitting by Caleb. That was a curveball, and he was just waiting for it.
And that's 3 batters, 3 hits. Caleb Colpine with 16 doubles on the season, record 18.
Unbelievable.
So he's continuing his march towards that record. We know he's already tied the triples record. And this is Brennan Wiegert. That was a curveball for strike 1.
Brennan's done a great job sitting in that 4-hole pretty much all season.
He sure has. And it looks like they're keeping Caleb honest over there on second. I don't think he had that big of a lead to warrant that.
Yeah, I would agree.
But at this point, this pitcher probably would like a little break. And Wiegert follows that one left of the third base line. Count goes to 0-2. Just a little ahead of that one.
Just a little bit, but it was a good cut there.
And that one's a called ball high. So far, this umpire has a pretty steady strike zone, and those above the belt are getting called as balls. Brennan's a guy who commands the batter's box, and when he wants to take a timeout, he takes a timeout, and I love to see it. I wish more of our players, quite frankly, would do that.
Yeah, you want to see the hitter comfortable at the plate.
And Brennan follows that one off the tip of his bat. Count stays 1-2.
Yeah, and he does a good job of going at his pace.
Yeah, you see some pitchers really try to control the game with their pacing, and I love to see a hitter demonstrate that, hey, I'm in control of the pacing here.
Absolutely.
Actually. That one's ball high, and the count is 2-2. This pitcher's probably approaching 20 pitches at this point on his 4th batter. And that was a curveball. Brennan pops that one up. Pitcher's coming underneath it. Brennan stops to maybe stay in the peripheral vision of the pitcher, but it doesn't cause the pitcher to miss that one, and that's out number 1. Just got under that one.
Yeah, not by much. He was did a good job of working the count deep, waiting for a pitch he could get the bat on, just missed. Round bat on a round ball.
That's the way
it's
it
hard.
Works. Yes. And that brings up Luke Palmer. So we got a man on second. We got 1 out. Let's trade places here, Luke. And that was I don't know if that was a changeup or a curve.
I think it was a curve. His curve is doesn't have quite as much bite as some of the other pitchers we've seen, but again, it's an off-speed pitch, and that was low. Luke was good to lay off that one.
Yeah, you kind of get to see the arc of this one coming, unlike like a Cole Elkins. Luke gets one right, and it's looking like it might go foul, and it is. Well struck ball. Up for a long strike one.
Yeah, that was deep into the right field corner, probably foul by 10, 15 feet. Not by much. It was close. Homestead still in a good spot here. Only one out. Runner in scoring position.
Yeah, already 2 runs on the board, which is a nice place to be on your first at bats. He sets up on the outside, and that one is a called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, he's with his fastball. He's trying to work outside against both right-handed and left-handed hitters.
And the count is 1-2. Pitcher shakes off that call, and Luke calls timeout.
Yeah, Caleb's not taking too aggressive a lead over there on second. I think he'll wait for Luke's bat to do the job versus a steal. But I've been wrong before.
And that one's a called strike 3. Luke was going to swing at it, but then he decided to hold, thinking it was going to get called a ball. But called strike, and I think that was the right call.
Yeah, looks like a curveball did hit the outside corner there, so that was a good pitch.
And that's 2 outs now with a man on second. That brings up Micah Long. And Micah takes the first swing at the first pitch, which was going to be a low fastball. He hits it out to right field, and Caleb Kolping scores. We got a 3rd run on the board and another runner on the base paths.
Absolutely good piece of hitting. Another fastball on the outside part of the plate. Mike just extended his bat, got it out to right field, and with 2 outs, Caleb was on the move and scored easily.
And that brings up Graham Collin. Graham Collin hit 3 solid balls in the Northridge game, got nothing for any one of them. Always hitting it at players, so I think that the luck is going to go his way tonight.
Yeah, we have a courtesy runner on first. I believe Mike will be catching, so Bryce Snyder's in.
And Bryce Snyder is quick on the base paths. Wouldn't be shocked to see him go on this pitch. And that's a curveball that misses for a ball low and away.
Yeah, this pitcher definitely seems to be working the outside part of the plate, so hitting to opposite field might be what the Homestead hitters need to do today, and nothing wrong with that.
Work with what they give you. Yeah, because you're right, he is not missing inside on any of these.
No, and that's the case for lefties and righties so far.
Yep. And perhaps a coaching choice to say, hey, these guys, this is a strong hitting team, probably the strongest hitting team this team's going to face this season. There's Bryce Snyder going. Called strike 1, and Bryce is safe at second.
Yeah, that was a good throw by the catcher. He just threw it to the wrong side of the base. Bryce is really quick. I was actually surprised it was as close as it was, but Bryce is in there. Great job.
But the coach may have told the pitchers, let's just pitch everything outside. Make them
right.
Hit oppo, and you don't get usually as much power on an oppo hit. Graham gets under that one and fouls it off out of play. Counts 2-2.
Another scoring opportunity. Bryce doesn't have too big of a lead. Second baseman coming in behind him a little bit.
Graham hits a high fly ball, almost a pop-up just behind second base. The second baseman goes, and that ends the inning, but 3 runs are scored. The damage is done.
Yep, good job for Homestead. Got pretty deep in the order first time through. Got a couple of good hits, some good base running, and put 3 up on the board. So
that's a good start.
Absolutely, and looks like we've got Caden Tarango on the mound today.
And we all know Tarango. If you've been watching our games, you know Tarango. I think he's the human spaghetti figure. His arms and legs have so much range to them and so much movement to them. It's almost like he's wet noodle.
Yes, he's very tall. He uses his length well and his height. I think I've said this before. He has a little bit different plane that the pitch comes in on than most of the other pitchers because of that height, and a good fastball, a good curveball.
And add to that he pitches in different arm slots at times.
He will go sidearm once in a while just to throw the hitters off.
It'll come in. There's his practice pitch on that coming right at us over here. We ducked and missed it.
Yeah, that one is a good pitch once in a while to throw the hitters off. Generally probably doesn't have quite as much control over that as other pitches. So
yeah, not being a standard pitch, the one that he's doing over and over again.
Correct. Jaden Lepper's also got that pitch. Drops down the sidearm once in a while. And
I swear Jaden's is practically a submarine at times.
yeah, you're right. He's probably a little almost under that 90-degree plane there.
And when they have those on, those are devastating for a strike three. They get a guy with 2 strikes on him, and all of a sudden they fire one of those, and then the guys usually just watch it go by.
Yes. Caden's fastball looks really good today. Couple good curveballs.
He's looking loose up there. And I think we can expect, I would expect that we're going to see a couple of different pitchers today coming into the playoffs.
Agree. I can't imagine anybody going more than 3 or 4 innings max, so they can have all their arms at 100% by Wednesday. Looks like we've got a familiar infield for Homestead with Caleb Kolping at first, Graham Collin at third on the 2 players on the corners.
Brennan Uyghur at
second, and Jaden Lepper at short. Outfield, Dan?
Yeah, we got Luke Palmer in right. We got Carter Matheson in center. Nope, that's Braden Hardwick in center. And I'm going to go with Jake Goody in left. But I'm not certain of that. And Mike Long, of course, behind the plate. And that's a called strike. And so while we were announcing, there was another strike, or fouled off ball, so it's 0-2.
Looks like Carter Matheson is the DH today, Dan.
Yes. And that one's low in the dirt for ball 1.
You know, he had that diving play Thursday night. I bet his arm might be a little sore, so maybe that's just a precautionary.
I'm sure that's what it is. Just let him get that arm back to full strength before the playoffs begin. Because as we said earlier in the broadcast, not to say this game's meaningless, but in the scheme of things, it's meaningless.
Right.
Is that Jake Goody out and left?
That is Jake Goody, left field.
Jake Goody, of course, he was the first guy to kind of come up during the last part of the season. And the hitter hits one between short and third, and that is a base hit to start their game off. So both teams coming out swinging. And I looked through the stats on this Leo team last night, and they are a strong hitting team just like Homestead is. And by the way, I should have announced it, Homestead's all-time scoring record for a single season for a team is 300 runs, and Homestead broke that at this game already. I should have mentioned it. The first run that crossed, we tied it, and the second run that crossed, we broke it, and now we're just putting distance on the record. And that's called, that's a swinging strike 1.
Yeah, we haven't talked too much about Leo. They have an excellent record. They are ranked, I believe, number 2 in 3A in the state, so this is going to be a quality opponent for Homestead.
Yes, they are.
And that first hitter was Damian Gudekunst to the center fielder. This is Coden Brubaker. He's the shortstop.
And I think Gudekunst's batting average is 470.
Very Homestead-like.
Yes, their whole lineup is their hitters all the way up and down. That's ball low and away. Counts 1-1.
Looks like Coden showed bunt there for a brief moment. Pulled it back.
And we saw a little bit of that, or more of that than we've seen all season. We saw on Thursday night against that tough Northridge team. There's a runner going. That's a swinging strike. That's a foul tap. So that runner was going to be going back to first. Doesn't that runner come back to first on a foul tip?
But I think it was caught foul.
So that I didn't know that rule. Is that the rule?
I believe it is. Yeah, and Mike on the exchange there just kind of lost it, and I think the reason he lost it.
There's a ground ball hit up center, and they're lucky they got that runner to second now, because that was a double play ball if there ever was one. But they get the out. Runner advances to third. And so now there's a runner in scoring position over on third, and 1 out.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think because it was the foul tip, just moved it to a different spot of the glove, and the exchange that Micah had wasn't able to get the throw to second on that stolen base.
And who do we have up here? It's like number 8.
This is Quentin Peters. He's the catcher.
And that's a ball in the dirt. Peters is batting .400 on the season. Obviously a strong hitter. And he fouls that one off. Counts 1-1. And that one's in the stands. Some lucky fans got a souvenir.
That's right. Looks like they've got 10 or 11 seniors themselves, Dan.
So 2 senior-heavy teams. That one's in the dirt, gets by Micah, and the run scores on that pass ball.
Yeah, that's where he dropped down to that sidearm again. And, you know, I was going to mention before the game when he does that, with since it's not quite as much control, we do see some runners advance. So that's a learning opportunity, but still 3-1 for Homestead.
And that one's fouled off, and the count goes to 2-2.
Coach Harkness over here. We have a good view of him today. He early in the season called a lot of the pitches.
That one's off the batter's helmet.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was a glancing blow, not a straight on. And the runner is aboard now. Still 1 out. 1 run scored. Tarango checking on the first base, the runner at first base. And he's signaling, hope you're okay. Good sportsmanship there.
Absolutely.
They're putting in a pinch runner, probably because he was the catcher. But maybe because he just got beamed in the head.
Yeah, and I guess that's a courtesy runner for the catcher. We've now got Coley Stevens, the pitcher, up to hit here. But I was going to mention Coach Harkness called a lot of the pitches early, but really has turned it over to the catchers to call their own games, and done a good job to kind of coach that and work that in throughout the season.
And Tarango really tried to rip off a curveball on that one. But,
yes, he did.
It came in high for a ball, so it counts 1-0. Pickoff move back to first. The runner's back in time. I have a feeling they figure this guy's going to try and steal, so they're trying to keep him a little bit close.
Yep, the pinch runner is Tyler Rebman.
That's called strike.
Courtesy runner, excuse me.
And that was a nice low fastball right there. And this ump's definitely calling the low fastball. Definitely so far. That was a nice throwback. And
is that the third pickoff move?
That is.
They're definitely Homestead trying to keep that courtesy runner short. You know he's a speedy guy, just by the nature of coming in as a
courtesy runner. And that one's a ball outside. I'd say this ump so far is a hitter's ump.
Yeah, that one was close. The outside corner caught a couple of our hitters in the top of the first. We didn't get that call there.
That one's a ball high. Looks like Tarango might not have complete control of his curveball here today.
He just needs to settle in. He'll be fine. He's got a really good fastball. He's been able to put that over the plate almost at will.
And the count goes to 3-1.
That's pretty deep.
Well hit ball way out there. In fact, it just left the park, folks. So home run for Leo.
Yep, that was well hit. Opposite field, right center field. And, you know, I was actually going to mention, Dan, this is a shorter fence than we're used to seeing. Center field is only 357. Left field is 306. I can't see right field, but I'm gonna guess something similar to left field, around 300. So center field's probably a good 30 feet shorter than what we're normally seeing.
Yep. And so this game's all tied up now at 3-3. It looks like we're going to have a battle on our hands here.
Absolutely. Well, we knew coming in, we mentioned it, I think. Leo's only got a couple losses in the season. Very good record. One of the top teams in the 3A division.
And he shows bunt, but that one's way high for ball 1. Caden just needs to settle in now and pitch his game. And that one's in the dirt for ball 2. I think probably this game hasn't started off the way Caden was thinking it was going to.
No, but you know what? You want to see your pitchers have to battle once in a while, because they're going to face innings like this. And Caden's one of the best pitchers on our team, and comes back with a great strike right there.
And speaking of the low strike, that one was a low strike. Nicely done. And that's a good spot to keep shooting. And he tries, but he misses on the inside corner on that one for ball 3. And the count goes to 3-1 on this batter. And that was the same count the home run was hit at.
Yes.
Misses low, and the runner is aboard. And we now have 1 out, 1 on, 3 runs scored, and the pitching coach is going out to have a little chat with Caden to, I'm sure, tell him what he's seeing right now.
Yeah, I think Coach Moore has done a great job with the pitchers this year, and I think he's just going to talk to them a little bit and settle them down and have them keep firing away. should have mentioned looks like the current batter that just got walked is Alex Hepner, left fielder. Batter now at the plate, number 24, Michael O'Brien. He's the DH.
And he's batting .236 on the season. He's actually got one of the lower averages on this team. And that's a pretty good average to have as one of your lower averages. And that's a strike low.
See if we can't get a ground ball here. Turn 2.
And that one's outside. Ball 1. So it counts 1-1. Sun staying behind a thin cloud layer. So it's keeping the feel of the temperature down here. And that's a low strike.
Yep.
And the count is 1-2.
That's the familiar spot for Caden. He's got that length, that higher arm slot. When he hits those knee-high strikes, it's that different plane that hitters just can't handle. Love to see him just live down there.
And he rips off a curveball for strike 3, and that was a nice pitch.
Yes.
Like to see him hit that one because that's the pitch he needs to have as his backup pitch.
Absolutely.
So he can start going back and forth between those and keep everybody off balance.
Hopefully that's the pitch, gives him that confidence to throw it again in the right situations.
And so now there's 2 outs and 1 on. Hits that low strike again. Counts 0-1. Who do we have up to bat here?
This is Tyler Pappenbrook, first baseman, really good pitcher.
Our boys play summer ball with him.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we do not see Tyler pitching today. My guess is he's going to be their day 1 pitcher going into the playoffs.
I expect you're right. Good hitter hitting .291, and he fouls a sharp one off, line drive, but it's way foul of the left field line. And that takes him to 1-2, so Tarango's ahead of him now. What do you think? He's going to try and rip that curveball off again right here?
Yeah, I would say so.
Or try to beat him with a low fastball.
Mike has done a good job of blocking, so yeah, see what happens here.
And there it is. But Pappenbrock spoils that one.
That was a really good pitch, and yeah, Tyler did a good job just to even get the bat on that to foul it away.
Counts 1-2 still, 2 outs. The score is 3-3. There's a runner aboard. Tries to rip off that curveball again.
Close, little low.
Pappenbrock doesn't bite, and it goes outside of the strike zone low. Counts 2-2. Runner's going. It's high and inside. Oh,
dead ball.
It was actually a dead ball. He was caught a little bit of his jersey, I think. So he gets a freebie out of that, and that's unfortunate.
Next hitter is Gannon Brown, the right fielder. Number 4.
Batting .442, so this is a strong hitter for this deep in the lineup. And that's called strike 1. And that's strike 2 on the outside corner. Counts 0-2. Let's go, Caden. Let's retire this.
Yep, exactly.
Time to finish this inning.
Got ahead. See if he can't finish it here.
And he fires off. Oh, just misses on that one.
Yeah, I think that was a little outside. Micah had to scoot over to get that.
Counts 1-2. Batter wasn't chasing on that one. It was one that surprised he didn't try to protect. And that one misses well outside. Micah did a good job of catching that one.
Yes, he did.
Counts 2-2. Still 2 outs, 2 on. And that one's high and outside. Looks like he's lost the grip on that one.
Yeah, it is a little humid. It's it's not terribly hot yet, but Caden's working up there, so yeah, he's trying to get the moisture off his hand here and get a good grip on the ball.
And we're at a full count now. That's a ground ball hit to second baseman. Wiegert, he gets it, throws it, but he pulls Caleb Colpine off the bag. The run is safe, and run scores, and both runners advance on a bad throw by Colpine over to Micah Long. So I think maybe 2 errors on that same play.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think Brennan got it, lost it in his glove a little bit. When he found it and looked up, that runner was right there, so he tried to rush the throw, and then they actually sent the runner on third. I think caught us by surprise a little bit, and Caleb tried to get it home in a hurry and did the same thing, sailed it a little bit.
So Leo takes the lead. That's a called strike 1. Leo takes the lead now, 4-3, and Homestead's got a game on its hands. And that one's a pop-up. It could be a danger, but it's being called by Jake Goody over there on left, and he gets under it and makes the play for out number 3, and we're out of the first inning. The score 4-3, Leo in the lead.
Yep. You know, I think we felt pretty good about our 3-0 lead and had them even at 3-1, looking pretty good. And then that home run changed the game pretty quick, gave them a lot of confidence, and bad a little bit there. But you know what, Dan? I like having to play tough teams and battle. We've had a lot of blowout wins this year, and we need to play more tough teams. So this will be good. Hopefully, I would expect a very close game. And Homestead's going to have to fight for this one.
Yes, they are. And like I said, this Leo team's a very good hitting team. All their stats show it. You look at their schedule, and they play largely the same schedule we do. We go down and play a couple of indie teams for about 5 games during the season, but after that, we're playing almost the same schedule. And so the fact that they're hitting well and we're hitting well tells you a little something.
Absolutely.
We're playing the same competition.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've had similar results, playing similar teams than us, so this should be a battle.
Braden Hardwick starting off this second inning. Braden's been hitting very well this season.
Yes, he's just getting stronger and stronger as the season goes along, so he's in the leadoff spot for us in inning 2 here.
And that one's low for ball 1. That was one of the few pitches we've seen that this pitcher pitched that went over the center of the plate.
That's right.
But it just happened to be too low. And now that one's inside.
Yeah.
He hurt us.
Maybe inning 2 he's going to work the other way.
Maybe so. Maybe he's got a little system of his own. He'll go outside in the first inning and then inside on the second inning. And that was a called strike.
That was low. I thought it might have been too low, but the umpire disagreed with me.
And the count is 2-2. That one's a ball high. And I might be wrong. I have an extra strike on that one. Sorry. The count was 2-1. Now it goes to 3-1.
Yeah, really nothing for Braden hit so far until right there.
Oh, and he almost took the head off the pitcher. That
yes,
pitcher,
he did.
His life flashed before his eyes on that one.
Boy, that was very similar to the other night when we saw that comeback where the pitcher actually caught it.
Yeah, that self-defense catch, which would give him credit. I mean, it was amazing that he caught that ball. But this one, that was right at his head.
Yeah, his follow-through, his waist and his shoulders bent over with his follow-through on the pitch, and that actually saved him.
Yep.
Great piece of hitting, though. That was the first ball that was even
hittable.
Close to being hittable.
Yep. And that brings up Jake Goody. And that one's a ball high. Hard to do on Jake Goody because he's pretty tall.
Yes, he is. Yeah, really good to see. Jake's definitely kind of worked his way into the starting lineup, becoming a key piece here for Homestead down the stretch.
Yeah, he got the first hit for Homestead against that tough Northridge team and hit 2 nice line drives into right field in that game. He pops this one up. It's going to be well out of play. And that's 1-1. Jake's definitely looking like a pull hitter. We don't have a lot of experience with him yet, but enough that the hits we've seen seem to be going to right field.
Yes. Yeah, he can hit it both directions. He's got a good extension, taller athlete.
And the top of the order is on deck. There's a runner going. That was a curveball called strike. Throw to second, not in time.
Yeah, good job.
And Braden Hardwick gets another stolen base.
Yep, Braden got a really good jump there. So I think that was a take maybe for Jake Goody at the plate all the way, allow the stolen base to happen.
Yep.
See if he can get a hit here. And
puts him at 1-2.
Here comes that outside setup.
And that one's way high. The catcher actually leaps in the air to make that catch. Counts 2-2. If that one would have gotten by, of course, Hardwick would have easily been able to move over to third. We've got a chain link fence that's a pretty good distance behind the catcher, and doesn't look like it's bouncing the balls back at all. And that was a curveball. Swinging strike 3 was dropped, but they make the play throwing it over to first.
Yeah, that was the first curveball I've seen him throw that actually had some bite on it.
Oh, but we have a conversation about to happen between the umpires.
Possibly
catcher interference?
Catcher interference.
Oh, maybe it's a foul tip. I think he was saying he brushed that ball.
Yeah.
So we're back in business here, and we've got 2 balls and 2 strikes still.
That's good umpiring. He wanted to go check with his the field umpire to confirm what he thought he heard.
And here we go, the 2-2 pitch. Man on second, no outs. And he fires that one outside for a ball, and now it's full count, and this pitcher's thinking, I just had this guy struck out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I got a full count on my hands.
Yeah, we never talked about that before, but the umpires do have to use their ears sometimes to make these calls.
Yes. And it's a hanging curveball that Jake gets a hold of and hits it back to the warning track, but it's caught at the warning track. It is able to advance Braden Hardwick to third, so a great hit on that one. If he'd have taken that about 40 feet over to his right, it would have gone out of the park.
Absolutely. That was the dead center field with a short fence of 357. I thought that had a chance to get out.
And so we're back to the top of the order, and we've got 1 out here and a man on third. Good position to be in. That's the tying run over there on third. And Jaden Lepper up to bat.
You know, we haven't seen a lot of bunting from Homestead this year.
It'd be a great day to practice some. And that one's attempted curveball, but stays up there for a ball 1.
I think we've seen JP play a lot. He can bunt. If you wanted to ask him to do that, he can absolutely lay it down.
He's been trained well by Todd Armstrong, Coach Armstrong. He gets under that one. It's popped up, and it's in playable area. The first baseman's back just a little bit behind the first base, and he almost trips on the infield, but he makes the catch.
Yep. That was might even almost landed back in fair territory, and Braden was eyeing that one. Obviously, if he did stumble and fall, that's a live ball, and I think Braden was ready to go home there, but did not have the opportunity.
So we've got 2 outs now. Carter Matheson up to bat. Braden Hardwick on third. Got a lot of chances, a lot of ways that Braden Hardwick could come in right now.
Yes.
A pass ball, a home run, a ball hit in play that makes the ground.
Love to be able to get him in here this inning, get the score tied.
And that one's in the dirt for ball 1.
Little inside, too.
And Carter, of course, didn't hit a home run in the last game, so that means he's due.
That's right.
The only player in probably the state of Indiana that you can say something like that. And he hits a long ball to dead center. The center fielder is back. It hits the wall about 6 or 7 feet from the top of the wall. It's a stand-up double for Carter. Braden Hardwick scores.
Yeah, I thought that was going to get out as well. Right off, almost hit the 357 sign there in center field.
Yeah, he hit that ball. That was a line drive is what it was.
Yes, it was.
It was not a fly ball going out. That was a line drive, and just came down just a little bit short. But I'm sure he's still happy with it. I'm sure he'd rather a home run, but he's got a couple more at-bats left in this game.
Hey, he changed the scoreboard.
Yep, and that brings up Caleb Colpine. Score now 4-4, and I need to fix that. Oh, I just made it 5-4. Sorry about that, folks. And that's ball 1.
See if Caleb can't do the same thing and score Carter here.
Score Carter and bring himself within one more double of the all-time record.
There you go.
For a single season for Homestead.
Carter was getting a little jumpy over there, I think trying to distract the pitcher a little bit, so they had the shortstop go behind him. Pitcher stepped off to reset.
And that one is way high, and I think Carter maybe is getting a little bit in his head back there.
Yeah, he's did that fake steal move when the pitcher made his move to home, getting the catcher to maybe get his eyes on him and not the ball.
Yep. And the pitcher, I think, catches a little bit out of the corner of his eye, just that flash of movement.
Absolutely.
While he's in his backswing, so to speak. And that's a curveball that comes in low. Pitcher was hoping that one was going to make the zone, but it did not.
Well, you got to wonder with the dancing that Carter's doing back there, and now we have a 3-0 count, so he's definitely, I think, affected the pitching.
I think that's the first 3-0 count that this pitcher's been.
Correct.
He's done a nice job so far today. And now he knows he has to deliver a strike to a guy who'll probably swing at a 3-0 pitch. Timeout called. And he misses on the corner, and it is 4 straight balls. Now, possibly just a healthy respect for Caleb Kolping and hoping they can do better with Brennan Wiegert. But Brennan Wiegert's batting .400, and just because it's better odds doesn't make it good odds for you.
Well, I was going to say that's a walk, but that's an assist to Carter. He was doing a lot of jumping, dancing. I think definitely got the pitcher to worry just as much about him as the batter. Lost the strike zone a little bit.
And Brennan holds on that one. Probably not a good first pitch to swing at, because that was going to be tough to get a hold of that ball that far outside.
Was he calling a swinging strike there? Because that was nowhere close to the zone.
I don't think he swung, but
he made the move. I thought he checked it, but first real bad call I've seen this umpire make. We've had him before. He's a good umpire.
Yes, he is. So it's 0-1. We got 2 out still. We got 2 on. There's a throw back to second. Carter's back in plenty of time.
Yeah, that was a set play. Shortstop moved away from Carter, so Carter would hopefully be distracted and take a bigger lead, and second base snuck in on the backside.
Yeah, I see Carter out there smiling with the second baseman.
Yeah, like I've seen that before. Come on, guys.
And Brennan fouls that one off. And the count is 0-2. 2 on. The ducks on the pond, so to speak.
Yeah, I'd love to move him over. Maybe even score here with 2 outs. This has been a good back half of the inning.
And Brennan just hammers one in the alley between left and center. That one's back to the wall. Carter Matheson scores. Caleb's coming around. The throw's coming to the cutoff man, but he's not going to bother throwing it to home. Brennan has a double, 2 runs scored. A beautiful piece of hitting
line
right
drive to the left center gap. Absolutely, that scores both Carter and Caleb. Carter was actually moving on a steal. I wasn't sure if Caleb was. I didn't see if that was a hit and run play for both of them, but good job, Coach Bile, on that call. Great piece of hitting by Brennan.
And suddenly, Homestead has put up 3 runs again, and the score is now 6-4. Luke Palmer up to bat. Still 2 outs in this inning, and Brennan Wiegert is on second. I think we've scored all of our runs on 2 outs. And that's that called low strike again. You gotta respect that one in this game. Counts 0-1. I'd say Luke's due right about now. He had 3 well-struck balls on Northridge. Got, oddly enough, the least well-struck ball. It was the only one that got him anything in that game. He rifled that shot straight at the left fielder in his second at-bat. He doesn't chase on that curveball. It gets away from the catcher, and Brennan Wiegert now stands on third. It is 1-1.
Yeah, good read by Brennan. Ball's in the dirt, popped up, and he was on the go.
And now the pitcher has to have a little extra concern on that curveball outside, because if it gets away from his catcher, another run's going to score.
That's right.
So the count's 1-1. We got 2 outs. Man on third. And that one's called, and that's probably the highest strike called in this game.
Yeah, curveball at the top of the zone. You know, it's one of those where it landed in the mitt of the catcher in the strike zone, but when it crossed the plate, I felt it was still a little high.
And Luke hammers that one to the alley.
Get out of here.
Decided to follow what...
Out of here.
Well, forget it. folks, I'm not going to say any more because that was a home run.
That was a line drive home run. Power alley, left center field. Luke just, it was interesting. The catcher was set up to the outside. That's where he wanted him, and the pitcher made a mistake, put it over the plate, and Luke made him pay for it.
Yeah, he just wrecked that one. So good job, Homestead. 2 more runs on the board, and this inning is getting long for this pitcher. He's starting to think, when they scored those 4 runs in the bottom of the second, he thought, okay, we're good.
That's right.
We're good. And all of a sudden, Homestead puts up 5 runs in the second, and the second is not over.
No, we've got some good hitters coming. Mike is at the plate right now. Let's put up another one.
Yeah, Micah hit one line driving to right field last time up, and that's a healthy amount of respect on that pitch.
Well, that's where he threw it outside by 2 feet, but that's where the catcher was set up.
Perhaps he's tired of watching the Homestead hitters hit the ball.
Yeah.
What does iScore say with regard to the number of hits? I fell behind, I think, on my scoring. And that's a called strike. Certainly not a pitch you want to swing it on the first strike.
Doesn't give it.
And Micah hits the hanging curveball. The catcher makes a nice backhanded grab on that one and throws it over to first for the 3rd out, and that ends the top of the second.
8 hits for Homestead so far, and only 2 for the Leo. So they scored 4 runs and only 2 hits.
Yeah, and I have that score just slightly differently than that. I have 3 hits for Leo, but what do I know? So Leslie and I last night, we were planning on our usual Friday night ritual of grabbing Pizza Bamba, which is a pizza truck in Fort Wayne.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
And he sets up over in front of where Scotty's Brew House used to be there on 24
kidding.
Jefferson, heading out of town. And we go out there every Friday night to grab our Pizza Bamba. And got there, and there was no truck.
Oh.
So I have his phone number. That's how often we go there. So I texted the guy that runs Pizza Bamba. And he said, I was feeling a little ill today, so I didn't come out there. So we did not have our pizza, so that our pizza drought continues in our household.
Well, here at the Palmer Sports Network, we are definitely pining for a pizza endorsement.
We're working them all. We're working them all.
Well, this is a good spot for Homestead to be able to respond, even though they got out to an early lead. Leo responded, and Homestead came right back. So let's see how Caden can do in the mound and the defense, and maybe get a clean inning here and really put some doubt into the minds of the Leo players that they could beat this Homestead team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is the kind of this is the half inning where you really want to hold them to nothing. You'd love them to go down 1, 2, 3 because
Absolutely.
Then they think, uh-oh. Those guys still have their foot on the gas, and ours is firmly on the brake.
That's right. And it looks like we are back to the top of the order.
For the Lions, center fielder number 6, Damian.
So he did have a hit his first at bat.
And I think I mentioned it his last time up, but Gutekunst is batting .470 on the season, which is an astounding batting average. Of course, Homestead has 2 hitters batting over that, and frankly, well over that, but that's astounding. And that was in the dirt, low and away. Counts 1-0. We're in the bottom of the second. The score is 8-4 Homestead. And that one's low and away in the dirt, too. And so far, Tarango doesn't have his best stuff today. That one was going to be the low called strike, and that hitter knew it.
Yep.
So
that was a good pitch.
He went after it, but that's a tough pitch to hit, especially coming in at the angle from.
No, that's his spot. That's his best fastball.
And it's ball in the dirt. The count's 3-1. And you have to wonder what Coach Biles' plan is for today, how deep he's going to take any pitcher, regardless of how they're doing. That's a sharply hit grounder. Jaden picks it up on the second bounce, throws it over to first for the out. Nicely played.
Yes, he took that last hop out of it, closed the gap, and
that last hop was going to be that run was going to get there, or I'm sorry, that base runner was going to get to first if he wouldn't have taken that hop out of there. But Jaden, that's the kind of shortstop he is. He's a very, very good fielder. He knows what he's doing. He knows he has to get that ball right there.
No, didn't get the call there.
That's the curveball strike that Luke did. Luke got called against him, and this guy gets called as a ball. But we're obviously announcers for Homestead, so we think every call that goes against us is a bad call.
That's right.
That's ball 2.
An odd observation, Dan, but Caden has changed gloves.
Interesting. And that's a called strike. Maybe the other one was misbehaving, and so he was thinking that's the problem. I do that with my golf clubs at times. You stick the driver in the bag because it's not performing. And that's a ball missed low, and we're at 3-1 again. Second batter in a row.
Yeah, baseball probably has as much superstitions from players and teams and coaches than any sport.
And that one catches the outside corner for strike 2, and the count is full.
Yeah, really good pitch there.
Yeah, perhaps Caden was breathing out of the wrong eyelid.
That's
earlier.
right. Full count.
And he misses high on that one. Doesn't get him chasing, and a runner is aboard.
Now batting for the Lions, catcher number 9, Quint Peters.
Waiting for iScore here to load to see what Quentin did his last at bat.
And that's a called strike on the outside corner.
We need these iScore operators to move a little quicker.
I know. What's going on with that? We need.
Who's the iScore operator today there in the dugout? Can you tell?
I was telling Leslie we were out for a walk this morning. That was a beautiful curveball.
Get foul.
Nice piece of hitting on that.
That is fair.
And
that
it's
is
called fair. He hit a nice line drive off of that, which managed to come in. It was a you folks all missed it. Let me recount it. That ball was a hard hit line drive down the left field line that looked like it might tail foul. In fact, from our vantage point, we probably would have called it foul, but we don't have the vantage point that the ump has right down the line. It's called fair, so it probably just hit the chalk. And then it continued to tail into foul territory after landing fair. The runner from first went all the way to third and was thinking about going home, but the cutoff throw came through in time, and then there was almost a play at third.
Yeah, the batter overran third base, came back, and I think he got under the tags. I think we got it there in time, but was able to get under the tag on the quick swipe by Graham. It was a good cutoff and a good throw by Jaden. Count now is 1-1.
Counts 1-1. My scoreboard's way off, folks. I'm trying to fix it for you. We get behind while we're talking. Counts now 2-1. There is one out, although I wasn't showing that on my scoreboard a second ago. No runs have scored this inning, but we need this out right here because this guy on third has a chance to score on any struck ball, except a foul ball.
Yeah, you know, it's you can tell they're a good hitting team when they can get ahead of some of the fastballs coming from Caden, because Caden can bring it.
Yep, and Caden is he's a strikeout pitcher, and I don't know how many strikeouts he has in this game. And that one is a line drive just out of the glove of the third baseman. Gets out to left field, 2 runs score. Oh, but there's going to be an out at second when he tries to stretch that one, but 2 runs have scored, so his nice hit there did some damage.
Yeah, that curveball was at the top of the zone, and hitter did a good job of waiting on it, put it in the left field, scored 2 runs, and thankfully Homestead was able to smartly recognize he was trying to go for 2 as we were throwing it home, and made the throw to second and got him out.
And that's something about baseball that you learn as you get older and older as you play it. The game doesn't stop just because one part of the field, something just didn't happen on it. The ball's in the catcher's glove and the guy scores. The catcher has to know there's another runner out there that still can move around. And that's ball 2. And so you have to be ready to make yet another play. There's a lot of different plays that can happen on one struck ball.
Oh, did he get him?
That's
He got
the
him.
third batter that
Third hit by
Caden
pitch.
has hit in this game.
Well, I got to hand it to Leo. They responded to our first inning. They're responding to our second inning. So we have an 8-6 game. Runner on first, 2 outs.
And a lot of runs have been scored on 2 outs in this game.
Yes, it has. So let's see if we can't get the batter here or get a ground ball. Good job, Micah. Way to get in front of that.
Ball in the dirt. Counts 1-0. Mike is doing a real nice job behind the plate today. And he has been a solid catcher really the last 3 quarters of the season. I think our whole catcher core had a rocky start.
That's right.
But they've come on and are playing good baseball. Now, I just jinxed him, of course. Ball stuck in the fence, so that's a dead ball. But the base runner gets to stay on second because he had already, or because it was a wild pitch. And that's an unfortunate little turn of events right there because still 2 outs, but now a runner in scoring position.
That's right. And Alex Hopner's on second base. He's the hitter that just scored those 2 runs.
And that's ball high. Actually, I think he was the one that got hit by pitch, wasn't he?
Oh, he was getting hit by pitch. I'm still waiting for iScore to catch up and try to tell you who this batter is.
Well, I was starting to talk about it when that last gentleman had the good hit. That's counts 3-1. But Leslie and I were out for a walk this morning, and while we were walking, I said, I think Craig and I need to start keeping book at our table while the game's going on because we're relying on iScore, and it's always running behind on us.
He struck out his first at bat.
Yeah, my mentor, the man who brought me into broadcasting, Derek Decker, he mistakenly invited me to one game to be the color man. He actually kept iScore himself while the game was going on, while he was broadcasting, kidding. While he was running all the equipment.
Oh, wow.
And that's walked. Runners walked, and so now we got runners on first and second. We still have 2 outs, and I think Tarango is wishing he could get off the mound here.
This is Tyler Pappenbrock at the plate again.
That's called low strike, and the count is 0-1. Now it's a bit high. Called ball. 1-1.
Tyler was hit by pitch his last at bat.
Yes. I think he was on a full count. He was hit by pitch. And that was a beauty of a curveball, but it apparently missed the spot. And
that's Mike had to reach out and grab it, but I think that's one of those curveballs that where it crosses the plate, I still felt like it was at the bottom of the strike zone. But
yeah, this one you need the stat cast where it shows you the strike zone and
yes.
shows where the ball is, because I think you're right. The plate is 3-dimensional. The strike zone's not 2-dimensional. It's 3-dimensional.
That is probably the hardest ball to call, though, for an umpire looking down.
Yep.
It's the angle hitting that bottom of the strike zone.
Yeah, in this game so far, it's you tend to get the call more when you have one that goes through the top, above the strike zone, but curves into the catcher's glove afterwards.
Right.
You get that call, but the one that goes through and then comes down low, you miss because you get fooled by the catcher's glove having to be down there in the dirt.
This is a big spot here. Full count.
Full
Two
count.
outs.
2 outs. And he fakes one back to first, but the reason he fakes it is he turns and there's nobody there covering, and that's a balk.
Yes, it is.
So now the runners are on second and third with 2 outs, and the count is full.
Get the batter, Caden.
And he hits the spot, but it's a line drive in an alley. Nobody's going to be able to make a play on that one. It is on, just hits the bottom of the fence. 2 runs are scored, and once again, this game is tied up.
Yes, it is. That was a good piece of hitting by Tyler. Got a fastball over the plate and sent it to deep left center field. I was a little worried that might have gone out. Hit the wall.
And I'm guessing we have somebody warming up. I think I just saw somebody signaling over to the bullpen. There is somebody warming up in the bullpen. I can't see who it is from here.
Well, Caden's had about 70 pitches, so we don't want to put too many on his arm.
And that one's fouled off, out of play. Yep, not every game is your best game, unfortunately.
Well, really, he's doesn't have his normal maybe control, but he's throwing some good pitches. They've just hit him. They're doing a good job hitting.
That's true. This is a good hitting team. And that one's ball high.
Keep grinding, Caden. Keep grinding.
That was a beauty of a curveball.
Nice pitch.
And that is the second strike. So the count is 1-2, runner on first. He's going. That one's outside, almost like a pitch out. And the ball unfortunately came in a little bit high. Jaden unable to make the tag, but he gave it a good try.
Yeah, Mike made a good effort there. The ball was over to his left. He was expecting it down, I think, and over the plate. So almost kind of made that cross his body throw.
Yep. And there's a way missed curveball. And the count is full again.
Game is tied. Full count, 2 out. That runner's going to be on the move. Love to see a pickoff move here because sometimes you get that runner.
And that's it. A
There we
beauty
go,
of a pitch
Peyton.
for strike 3, and we're out of that inning. But again, the damage is done. The score is 8-8. This is a hitter's festival today. And let's see how our hitters can respond.
Absolutely.
If they can keep it rolling. Still the same guy on the mound coming out.
So first inning, Homestead put up 3. Second inning, 5. For Leo, first inning put up 4. Second inning, they put up 4. So we've been in a couple of shootouts before. And this looks like we're heading towards another shootout.
I think it's Cole Elkins over there in the bullpen.
Well, you know, I would expect most of the starting pitchers or the core pitchers to get a couple innings, 30, 40, 50 pitches, maybe a few more.
I sort of expected to see him in the second game as the starter.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to probably look at him as maybe more of a closer role. I don't know. I think Coach Bile just wants to get some innings and some pitches, and maybe he's not really too worried about where they're actually pitching today.
Yeah, this is the game that you got to try and get everybody some reps because there'll be plenty of pitchers who are not going to throw on
That's
Wednesday, and you'll end up with a full week. If you don't get something in today, you're going to be off the mound for more than 10 days.
That's right.
And you hate to have people that haven't seen the mound for that long.
That's right.
When you're in the playoffs. So we're leading off here with Graham Collin. And he holds off on one that comes in low and away. Started off looking good.
Yeah, it was almost a little bit of a slider moved to the away from the right-handed batter.
And that one is a nice curveball that drops in for a strike. Certainly not one you want to swing at on your first
No,
attempt.
if you left it up a little bit more, maybe. But yeah, that was a good pitch. Just lay off of that one.
Counts 1-1. That one's a fastball low and inside. Counts 2-1. Graham's doing a good job of being selective here. And that was a curveball that Graham tried to get a piece of, fouled it off. And the count is 2-2. So we're in the top of the third. As you know, in case you're just joining us, this has been a hit fest. And there goes a hard hit ball to left field. The left fielder looks like he's signaling that he's under it, but it keeps moving over and over, but the left fielder manages to make the grab.
Yeah, another fly ball.
I feel like Graham's just a smidge under it.
Yeah, he's had a lot of deep fly balls last couple games, so hopefully he can get that straightened out a little bit.
Yep. And that brings up Braden Hardwick. Braden had a nice hit his first at bat. And he shows bunt, and that is a called strike on a curveball. Braden is a very good bunter, and he's very fast, and he's a lefty, so he's closer to first base than a righty would be. And he does not show bunt the second time.
No, I think he was trying to catch him by surprise on that first pitch, but third baseman's now playing in, so I think he'll swing away here.
Yep, counts 1-1. And that one, again, drops in for a strike. A nice curveball. The pitcher seems to have command of his curveball this inning so far. And that's called strike 3. It's that low strike that he's been calling all day.
Yeah, those are some good pitches, but looked a little low right on the bottom there. Tough break for Braden.
Calling it for both sides, though. It's unfriendly to the batters, but as long as you're calling it for both sides, you can't complain too much as a spectator. And that one's that curveball again that drops right in for a strike.
Yeah, that's an inside corner low curveball.
And Jake Goody's up to bat. And Jake hits a sharp grounder, one hops to the first baseman, who is easily able to make the throw to first because the speed that ball came towards him.
Yeah, we've a couple of well-hit balls, but a fly ball, a ground out, a strikeout, and that's the first time we really have seen either team go 1, 2, 3 and been more about pitching and defense.
Yeah, now let's hope that we can do the same thing because we got to respond to that.
And I think you're right, Cole Elkins is going to be coming to the mound.
Yep. And we've seen Cole, he seemed to be, I'm not saying seemed to be.
Looks like we've also got, oh no, I'm sorry, thought we had a new player moving out, but I was just getting the glove and hat to Jake Goody.
One of the young guys bringing out some gear?
Yeah,
another one of the young guys.
Logan Tuttle was heading out there, and typically he's first baseman, and I thought he was jogging out to left field, but he was just a courtesy that baseball players do to each other is help the player who's already in the field. They bring out his hat and glove if he's going to stay on the field in a defensive position.
So Cole's last 2 outings, he has been just absolutely dialed in.
Absolutely.
And it'll be interesting to see what this Leo very good hitting team can do with a Cole Elkins if Cole's on his game today. Because he throws fast, he throws a curveball that is wicked, that snaps off, falls off a cliff.
Yes.
And so hopefully Cole's going to be on his best game today and catch these guys not unawares, because I'm sure they know of Cole Elkins, but show just how hard it is to hit this guy. Mike is getting a workout today because catching for Tarango and Elkins, you're getting no break.
No.
These guys throw hard, they throw curveballs. And you got to just be on your game the entire time. The unsung hero of any game, a catcher.
Yeah, Mike is doing a great job. He had couldn't play a whole lot of catcher early in the season. Just had working his arm in to game shape, but he's racked up quite a bit of innings in the last few weeks at catcher and is doing a great job.
Yeah, and yeah, everybody watches the pitcher and everybody watches the batter because every pitch is coming in from the pitcher and every one coming by a batter or to a batter, and people forget that the catcher is involved in every single pitch in the game.
That's right.
If you're an outfielder, you're lucky if you see 3 balls in a game in your position.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, Dan, this is number 7, Braden Hicks for Leo. So this is their 9-hitter. But actually, if I score is correct, they're hitting 10 today, the extra hitter.
And that again, probably a good move, especially if you got a bunch of hitters, but also to get people reps as you're coming into the playoffs.
I don't think we've done that yet this year for Homestead.
I don't think we have either. This gentleman's batting .417, and here's Cole's first pitch. And he wants to hit that spot low, strike, and blow it by him, but he misses a little bit too low, and that's ball 1. And he gets him swinging at that one. And that I think is a measure of just how fast those balls are coming in.
Yep.
That the guy thinks, I don't even have time to decide if I'm going to swing it, and I'm afraid he's going to hit the strike zone on this one.
That's right. Yeah, that was just, I think, a fastball low.
Yeah, it wasn't a good pitch.
No.
But he made the decision to swing before he could even figure out whether or not it was a good pitch to swing at. That's the third one low, but this one's a ball. So it's 2-1. Mike's going to go out and have a little talk. Maybe they got their signs mixed up there on that one.
Yeah, you might be right.
Or he might be just giving him the suggestion, throw it a little higher.
I don't, coming into the game, 3rd inning, I'm sure he had a decent bullpen. Might have been a little earlier than he was expecting, but I don't mind him kind of working from the bottom up, see if he can't find that knee-high strike in the first couple batters here.
And there it is. And that one's called a ball. Looks like it was inside. And the count is 3-1.
Yeah, that was unusual to actually get by. I thought it might have been inside corner strike. But
I thought it was going to be a called strike. And that one's low. It's a grounder, and it's a hot shot. Comes off Caleb Colpine. The Wiegert comes over there, fields the ball off of Colpine. Colpine almost gets back to the bag in time, but that's going to go for a hit.
Yeah, that deflected off of Caleb. He did a good job just to try to put his chest and his glove in front of it. He knew it was going to take a tough hop. It deflected towards Brennan, and they almost still pulled off that play.
That was close. So there's no outs, and there's a runner aboard. And that's a hard hit ball to right field. Luke Palmer's over there to field it. He throws it in to second, but that is a hit, and that was a good hit. And again, shows you this is a good hitting team.
Yes, they are. I'm very impressed with the Leo bats so far. That was a single into right field, but that was well hit.
And so we're in the bottom of the third. There are no outs. There's men on first and second. He showed bunt. Curveball came in for a strike.
Yeah, that was Damian Gutekunst who just made that hit, and now we're back. He was the leadoff hitter.
And yeah, he's batting .470, and you can see why.
Yep, so now we're in the 2 spot, Coden Brubaker. Looks like we got corners playing a little in here.
Yeah, and there was a call in from the coaches on
I think a little bunt defense potentially being called here.
And now Micah wants to go out and have a little talk with Cole. Make sure they have got everything square here.
Yeah, probably just on these bunt defense situations, the pitcher does have responsibility somewhere, so they just want to make sure Cole knows what his responsibility is on that call.
And here we go. Counts 0-1. And that's another bunt attempt, and he fouls that one off, and now the count's 0-2, so probably the bunt's going to be off.
Yeah, great pitch there. Well, with the runner on second and a bunt down the third baseline, the team's call, usually either third base or pitcher is going to have to get that because the runner's coming towards third, so usually pitcher has responsibility there.
You think they're going to go for a bunt again, or with 2 strikes, is that just a non-starter?
Traditionally, it's a non-starter, but again.
And he throws that one in the dirt. Micah does a good job of bodying that one up.
Yeah, under normal baseball circumstances, that's a non-bunt situation, but this is not a league game. It doesn't mean anything for any standings, and if you wanted to work on something.
Yeah, surprise move. Counts 1-2. And that was a beauty of a curveball that he gets hold of for a swinging bunt. Graham Collin picks it up, but there's no play to be made, and the bases are loaded.
That's a tough break.
It is. Yeah, he couldn't go for the bunt, or wouldn't want to go for the bunt, and yet he gets a swinging bunt out of it.
Yeah, that's the way the play was designed, and when they're swinging, the fielders are not prepared for a short ball like that, and it was placed perfectly.
Yep.
You couldn't place a bunt there.
No.
Foot inside the foul line, halfway between home plate and third base.
So a lucky break for Leo there. Gets some runners on all 3 bases. Cole not having the start he was hoping for here.
Yeah, this is unusual, but I'll say this is good though for Homestead. Let's play tough teams in battle. Sometimes we get used to playing some teams that don't challenge us much.
Right.
So I'd like to see this team challenged.
Yeah, you're
Just
holding.
like our equipment may be challenged here. So
Yeah, we got
feeling some drops.
Got some rain drops, and I had my real-time radar give me a warning a couple of minutes ago that we might have some rain at 11:18. And guess what? It's 11:18.
Well, hopefully it's just a light rain.
It looked like it. And that's fouled off. Over at our heads, the count goes to 1-1. There's still no outs, and the bases are loaded. So our hopes for a quick half inning here are looking like they're being challenged.
That's right.
And that one gets away. Micah's down.
That hit the batter? Must have been a dead ball.
It must have been a dead ball.
There's no one scrambling to get the ball that landed right in front of us at the fence.
So run scores, and Leo has the lead back at 9-8. The bases are still loaded. There are still no outs.
Looks like we've got a courtesy runner for number 9. Well, maybe that's a pinch runner because number 9's a second baseman, so that would not be a courtesy runner.
And that one's in the dirt. Gets away on the wild pitch. The run scores.
We have seen this from time to time, Dan. We haven't seen it in a while.
Shades of earlier in the season here.
Yeah. This is where you want to see Homestead just fight a little bit. You know, we're going to have to get tough. They're going to have to mentally focus in a tough game where you're not playing your best.
And that one's down the right field line, but it's called foul. And luckily so, because that was a hard hit ball.
Yes.
And you can tell that they're just a little behind.
Yes.
But that's because of the speed Elkins throws. But the problem is, if you put a bat on the ball with a ball coming in that fast,
that's right.
It tends to go out fast, too.
That's right. See if we can't get an out here.
The count is 0-1.
Infield's in for Homestead.
And that was a beauty of a curveball, but it gets away from Micah, and another run scores. And we're at 1-2 on this batter. Well, the good news is there's not so many runs on the bases to score. The bad news is it's because they scored.
That's right, yeah.
And
so Homestead just needs to bear down here and get an out.
Leo's put up 3 runs so far this inning, and it's 11-8, and we're still looking for our first out. And he misses low with that one. Count is 2-2.
Yeah, Micah's getting a workout. Keep going, Micah. Lot of balls in the dirt. It's Micah's probably trying to work hard to settle his pitchers down. Both of them haven't quite had the strike zone that they want.
And he is trying with that curveball, but they are not swinging at a curveball. They're just watching it, and so they're snapping in. They're not going in the zone, but those are ones you catch people swinging at a lot of times normally. But these guys are just watching them.
Well, and they've all been pretty much low, so they're probably well coached. Let's not swing at it till he can prove he can throw for a strike, which he can.
Oh, yeah. And he throws that one in the dirt. And that one is ball 4, and runners aboard on first and third, and there's still no outs with 3 runs scored.
Entering the game for the Lions is a courtesy runner, number 5, Donovan Massey.
And this is one of those rules for courtesy runners. So you start to wonder, what is the rule for putting people in to run for other people?
Well, this one's definitely a courtesy runner because I believe that's the catcher. Or excuse me, that's the pitcher that they're a courtesy running for.
Okay.
So catchers and pitchers, you can courtesy run. It's not really a substitution. Pinch runners are a true substitution. But then whoever you're subbing can sub back in the next inning. So I think there's a lot of liberal substitution rules in high school baseball.
It's almost hard to call somebody out on a misplay. And that one's a ball low and inside. Yeah, and this is the point where you have to, as the pitcher, and it's sort of easy to say from sitting behind the fence here watching the game, but you got to remember that this is an inning, it's not the game.
That's right.
And you just have to settle in and restart this game in your head and just bear down and start making the moves. And he makes a move back to first. Speaking of moves, it was a beauty of a move. Unfortunately, it was thrown away, and now another run scores, and the runner on first advances to second. So nothing's breaking in
No.
Cole's favor out here.
Unfortunate, I think, with runners on the corner, he was trying to catch the
And he
runner
did.
first
He had
sleeping.
him. He had him caught.
Just kind of missed with that throw, and he looked like he was leaning back a little bit, almost indecisive that he was going to make that move. But yeah, another tough break.
And so now it's 12-8. 4 runs aboard this inning. And that is a bunt attempt that is foul for strike 1, and the count is 1-1.
So again here, bunt defense needs to come into play here, and they need to communicate. Bunt down the third baseline with the runner on second. Cole and Graham need to be on the same page.
And that one's in the dirt
Good job,
outside,
Micah.
and Micah bodies that one up. And the count is 2-1. That's a swinging strike. Beauty of a pitch.
Yeah, that looked like a changeup, baby.
Counts 2-2.
All right, Cole, bear down here. Let's get the batter.
And that one's in the dirt, and it gets between Micah's legs. The runner moves to third. And the count is full.
Yeah, so this is still an inning that Homestead's got to work on. Got to grind. Got to find a way to get an out.
Yep. And I know, again, we talked about this game doesn't really mean anything, but you wonder how long they're going to let Cole pitch if he continues this rate. That's a lined foul ball that just goes about 2 feet over the head of the third base coach. He's lucky that wasn't 2 feet lower.
All right, full count here.
And that's a swinging strike, and Homestead has their first out of this, what has become a very long inning. Coach Moore coming out to talk to Cole. Good opportunity to tell him, hey, let's just keep doing it just like that guy. And Cole is a very serious competitor.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know that he's just up there angry about this, how this is going so far for him. But he wants to compete. He is desperate to compete.
Yeah, and this is where, in a way, you're glad. You want the mental toughness. You want them to work on that. Sometimes things come easy when you're a really good athlete, a really good baseball player. And days when you're don't have your best stuff, you got to find a way to grind it out. And that's what Homestead's going to have to do here.
And that's a great pitch, but it's also a great hit. Line drive to left field for a base hit. And now runner is aboard again. We got one out.
Yeah, that was a fastball right down the middle, and these Leo hitters have done a good job of waiting for those pitches that are in the strike zone. They haven't chased a whole lot outside the strike zone, so hats off to Leo so far. They've got a nice little lead on us now, Dan, 13-8.
Yes, it's going to challenge our hitters. And that's not something that has been done too often this season.
Tyler Pappenbrook back up to bat. That was Michael O'Brien, the DH, that just hit that single.
And that's
scored a run.
Called strike one. And that one's a little too low for ball one.
That was unusual. I watched Cole after he got the sign. Came set, actually looked into his own glove, I think trying to look at the grip he had maybe. So maybe he's a little struggling to get the grip.
And that one's a called strike. Nice pitch. Outside, corner. 1-2.
You know, we haven't played in a lot of humidity. We haven't played in a lot of heat and, sweaty type conditions for these pitchers.
And that's a beauty of a pitch, but it's not called a strike.
Yeah, that's the Cole curveball that we're used to seeing called for a strike. It might have been a little inside.
And the count is 2-2. And that is a beauty for a called strike three, and the batter knew it. And there are now 2 outs. And perhaps Cole is settling in now. Brown is up to bat.
Brown, the right fielder.
And he's batting .442. So they have a litany of guys. 5 guys batting over 400. Cole throws a bullet back to first.
Yep, there's that knee lift, step to first throw that a lot of left-handed pitchers try to perfect. It is a very deceiving move, and Cole does it well.
And that's hit soft fly ball to center, and it's going to fall in for a hit. Runners advance 1 base, so we got runners now on first and second. Still 2 outs.
Yeah, fastball over the plate. You know, they've done a good job. Any of our pitchers, we have had a couple really good pitchers on the mound today that fastballs over the plate are being hit. And I think that our pitchers have been put in that position that neither one have really done a great job of locating their curveball, so they're going back to their fastball, which is not untypical for pitchers. So if you can't locate the curve and they know fastball's coming, good hitting team, they're going to hit the ball. Keep grinding, Cole.
And we haven't mentioned it, but the 3rd inning is usually the Cook's Delight inning. We're going to just hold that off and give them the 4th inning. That's fouled off. The count's 1-1. There's 2 outs. There's 2 on. And Homestead needs to end this inning.
There's a nice pitch.
That's a beauty of a curveball. Called strike, and the count is 1-2. What do you think? 1-2. What's he going to go for here?
I'd throw the curveball again. Mike is doing a good job of blocking. They're timing out his fastball. There it is.
It's called strike, or did he hit him?
Yeah.
That guy took off running. I think it was a called strike.
Well, was it a drop? Third strike?
Yeah.
So.
That's what I'm saying. But the way the guy took off, it wasn't a hit by pitch.
Right. Oh, yeah, that was way outside.
Now batting for the Lions, center fielder, number 6, Damian.
It was so far outside, I actually surprised he swung at it.
Yeah.
And ended up working in his favor, actually.
Yeah. So, back to 0-0 count, the 2 outs, and now the bases are loaded yet again this inning. And that one gets away as a curveball that drops in too low for the catch. And a run scores. The runners move over to second and third.
Yeah, Cole's curveballs, which it might be more of a slider than a curveball, not only do they drop, they also move from the catcher's right to left. So Mike is having to slide over towards those right-handed hitters to try to block those. And it's one thing to block them when they're coming over the plate. It's much more difficult when they're moving away from you.
That's a ground ball to Jaden Lepper. He fields it cleanly, makes the throw to first, and out number 3 is up on the board.
We needed that, Dan.
But not before Leo scores 6 runs, and it is time now for Homestead's bats to come to life. They've been alive the whole game except for the last inning, so it's Homestead needs to respond in a big way right here. And Leo's still pitching the same pitcher. And so everybody on the Homestead team has seen him twice.
Yeah, we were hoping Homestead would be able to come out with some defense in the last inning and get a 1-2-3 and then put up some runs, but they turned the table on us, Dan. They did that to us. They got us to go, I believe, 1-2-3, put no runs up. The top of the third and in the bottom of the third was the tough inning we couldn't get out of for a while. Gave up 6 runs there. And
Homestead's leading off with Carter Matheson. Leading off with Jaden Lepper. Sorry about that. So we are truly at the top of our order. And the top of our order has been doing quite well in this game so far against this pitcher. Let's hope they get this inning started in a strong way.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could respond and put a couple runs up and close the gap a little bit. It's still early. It's where are we? Top of 4?
Yeah, this game is young. It's top of the 4th. So plenty of baseball yet to play, and neither team has rolled over in this game. And that one drops in for that curveball strike that this pitcher really got control of the last inning.
That's the difference in the game probably so far is he's been able to locate that curveball.
And he sets up a little outside. The catcher does. They try to get Jaden swinging at that one, but he does not. 1-1. And I feel like this pitcher's almost picked up his pace. And that's a ball. That's 3 curveballs in a row. So maybe he's thinking a little too much of his curveball at this point.
Yeah, I think that second one might have been a fastball on the outside there.
Oh, I missed that one. And that one's a fastball. He's shooting for that corner that he was getting earlier, but now he seems to have lost that part of his.
Well, the catcher really sets up way outside when he wants that outside pitch.
And I'll tell you, that tells the umpire there's probably going to be a ball. And that one's a called strike.
Yeah, that was below the zone. That's a tough call for Jaden, but it's still full. He's still got an opportunity here.
Full count. And see, the pitcher's getting ready and set to pitch when Jaden's still standing outside of the box. And that one's ball high, and he walks the first batter.
I was about ready to say, I know we've got really good hitters at the top of the order, but if they're not pitching something we can hit, just take your base.
Yep.
We need base runners.
We do.
If we can just be patient, take a walk if he gives it to us. we can get back in this game.
Carter's got the most walks on the team this season, and you know he does not want to walk. And that one's called strike. The umpire seems to enjoy this guy's curveball.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be getting the high and the low now.
Well, if he can nibble the corners and get strikes, then he's doing his job.
That was a fastball. Carter just misses on that one. Fouls it away, and the count is 0-2.
Yeah, move around, Carter. Let's just keep it simple.
Jaden's going. That's in the dirt. Jaden's going to third now.
Great base running.
Yep, Carter signaled over to him. Jaden looked back. Carter signaled to him to keep going. And so suddenly, the walk is standing on third.
Yeah, that was a really good timing on the jump. He actually left
going
before the pitcher made his move to home. So
yep.
If the pitcher would have seen that or someone signaled to him, he could have stepped off and gotten Jaden in a rundown. But Jaden timed it just about perfect.
And so here we are with Jaden on third. There's no outs. And he gets Carter swinging, and it's a drop third strike. Carter's going down, and they throw him out at first.
Carter tripped there. I don't know if that was the base or something happened. Went nose down, but I think he's okay.
Now batting for the Spartans, first baseman, number 17, Caleb Colpin.
And that brings up Caleb Colpin. One out and a runner on third. I'd say we want to at least chip away at this lead, but this is a pretty good lead they've got going on us, and we need to do a little more than chipping here. And that was called ball. He goes for that curveball.
Yeah, they've turned the tables on us. We feel the pressure to have to score several almost every inning in one of these games. So, but I'd say, Dan, if we can at least get one or two, just to close the gap a little bit, I think it'll feel like we can get there.
And that's called strike. Fastball down the pipe. 1-1. If there's any batter that's going to bring this run in, he's right here.
Yeah, and so far they haven't made we've made a few errors. We've had some wild pitches or pass balls, and they've played a much cleaner game than we have, and that's not all of the difference. They've hit the ball well, but that's a good chunk of the difference right now.
Counts 2-1, one out. Catcher setting up way outside. That one's in the dirt, and this catcher's getting a workout all of a sudden.
Well, he was getting those strikes by, hitting the corners. He hit the high part of the zone, the low part of the zone, so he's staying away from the middle part of the plate against this Homestead team, which is smart pitching. You'd probably be better off giving up a walk here and there versus put one over the plate. Because a lot of our hitters will make you pay for that.
There's a huge gap in left center. That one's inside, and two are aboard.
We'll take that walk. You'd love to see Caleb hit it, but we got to take those walks if he's going to give them to us.
And this is the identical situation we had, except Carter was on second last time, I believe, and Brendan Wiegert came up and hit a nice double to bring in 2 runs.
Absolutely. So again, Homestead's been an aggressive team in these situations. Runners at the corner. It is Caleb at first, Carter at third. I'm sorry,
Jaden Lepper.
Jaden at third.
So still 1 out, 2 on. Curveball drops in for a strike. And that seems to have been this pitcher's now his bread and butter first pitch.
Yeah, with only 1 out, I think Homestead should be aggressive here. I know Caleb's probably not the quickest player on our team, but I think Leo would probably be guarding that run.
There he goes. And that one's in the dirt. Oh, he didn't go.
Now it was a good secondary, but held up. Although, now that I say that, I wouldn't be surprised if Leo did try to throw him out at second. With a 6-run lead, they might be willing to trade in a run for an out here.
I think you're right.
Leo's coach is coming out to talk to the pitcher and catcher, probably talking about the situation, settle him down a little bit since he just walked
two batters.
Walked 2 batters.
And that's probably the first inning where he's walked 2 batters this game.
Well, he probably knows, hey, Homestead's not going to probably be able to get back in this game easy unless we give them some freebies. Homestead gave Leo several freebies, and if Leo does not return the favor, we're going to have to grant out a lot of hits to be able to get back in this game.
Yeah, and base runners is the name of the game.
That's right.
You can't score runs unless you got guys on base. And when you hand them a couple of guys on base, ducks on the pond, so
That's
to
right.
speak.
But Brennan's a good hitter. We can still do some damage with our bats if they don't walk us, but let's see if he can find the zone or if we get another walk.
Yeah, it counts 1-1. And that one's outside. Going for that outside. He keeps going for.
Yeah,
he's probably getting a little tired at this point.
Found his curveball, now he's lost it again.
Yep. I think he's gotten a little bit tired, he's been pitching 4 innings now.
He's let me change glasses here, get his pitch count.
And that's a strike pitch that Wiegert was trying to punish them on, and it's well foul, but that was a hard hit ball.
Yeah, we're closing in on 90 pitches.
Yeah, so this guy's probably getting
Coley.
close to being done for the day.
I'm guessing they want him to finish this inning.
And the count is now 2-2. Now, I was talking about this pitcher's pacing seemed to increase at the beginning of this inning, but now it seems to have slowed down.
It has, and Jaden timed out that pacing perfect on that stolen base, so I think he has to slow things down a little bit.
And there goes Caleb, and that's a curveball in the dirt. And there we go. Now the runners are on second and third, and the count is full to Wiegert. And this pitcher's thinking right now, I sure hope that I do not walk the bases loaded.
Yeah, good big spot here for Homestead to be able to potentially score or get the bases loaded here to jump right back into this game.
And there it is. Curveball hits for a grounder, run scores. They get the out at second.
At first.
Sorry.
Well, that was at least a ball in play. That pitch was in the strike zone, so good job for Brennan to put the bat on the ball. We got a run. We can get one more here, close the gap just a little bit. I think Homestead will feel that we can get back in this game. Good to score at least one.
Yes. So
another one sitting right there at third for
chipped
Luke.
away, and it'd be nice to put a ball in play that goes for a hit, of course, with 2 outs. And Luke holds on that one. It was going to be called for a strike anyway.
Yeah, that's that curveball we see at the bottom of the zone that he had for a while, lost, and just threw it again right there. That's a good pitch. Good pitch to lay off on with no strikes, though, for Luke at the time.
Catcher setting up outside. But it comes in dead center for a strike.
Well, he's so far outside. I still think that was on the outside part of the plate. Just that catcher sets up so far to the outside, so Luke, I don't think, wanted to swing at an outside ball. Although he's a good right field hitter, so he can easily put that in play and get it into the gap over in right center field.
Counts 0-2. 2 outs. Man on. Luke calls time.
Here we go, Luke.
Hit right here would be nice. And Luke hits a sharp grounder, but straight at the second baseman. He fields it cleanly, and that is an out, and that ends the half inning. Homestead puts up 1 run, so they've narrowed the lead ever so slightly to 5 runs. But Leo's still feeling probably pretty comfortable with a 5-run lead.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't put up 0 runs, but would like to see more than 1. Yeah, we'll have to see. I think actually right now this is going to be really key going to the bottom of the 4th. If Leo puts up another number, Homestead's in trouble.
Yeah, Homestead's got to stop them here. I know Cole is going to do his darn best to see if he can shut them down this inning. Hopefully he's going to settle in and have a little more control than he had last time. And that is, he wasn't out of control by any means, but he's just missing his spots ever so slightly, and that's a big difference when you got a fairly tight strike zone going.
Yeah, and with Cole's curveball, it moves so much that if that's going to be in the dirt or low, that's That's tough to get in front of. Micah did a pretty good job at getting in front of as many of those as he possibly could.
And speaking of Micah,
we have well, this might be just a catcher, a warm-up catcher.
That's true, because
Micah was
on deck. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's Bryce, isn't it?
Bryce Yoder.
Did Bryce get a new helmet? Thought he had
I'm not sure.
Didn't think he had a black helmet. Maybe he did, and I'm just losing track.
Could have just borrowed somebody else's maybe to run in here and do this warm-up. Yeah, because that's not his gear. That's not even Bryce.
Well, you know what? Yeah, Mike is not coming back. That is, I think that's Bryce.
Bryce has changed his hair color. He was been a blonde all
you're
season.
right. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Throwing us
it's not
off
his
here.
helmet. It's his hair.
It's his hair that changed color. So there's pitch number 1 for the inning. It's called ball inside.
Is that the only change, Dan? I'm looking through the field. I think that's the only change.
And that's ball outside, and it's 2-0. Yeah, I don't see any other moves on the chessboard out there. And that one's fouled off. Count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, pretty much these Leo hitters have done a good job with fastballs over the plate, top part of the zone. So I think we got to hit those knee-high strikes and get some ground balls.
Yeah. And he gets him swinging on that one a little bit high, and the count goes to 2-2.
This is Coden Brubaker. He's the shortstop. He does have a hit today. It's 1 for 2. The ground
and that
out.
one drops in for strike 3. Gets him with that curveball. And there's one out.
Yeah, good start for Cole.
And I believe that that is the first inning that we got the first batter out.
Maybe that's the change, the tide that we needed for our defense and pitching.
Comes in for ball high. And that one's fouled off. Counts 1-1.
So the second I start talking about working the bottom of the zone, they're working the top of the zone.
Go figure. Clearly, they don't analyze baseball the same way we do.
Of course not.
That's
There's
another
a curveball.
beauty of a curveball
Fantastic.
comes in. And the count goes to 1-2, and Cole's ahead.
He looks way more relaxed out there.
I think he changed his socks. It was the socks.
There you go.
He goes for the fastball, misses low, and it's 2-2.
You know, Cole does throw hard, and he's got a lot of force. We've seen him throw when that hat comes off on a lot of his pitches.
Yeah, when he's really grooving.
Yes.
And there it is.
Oh.
That one's called a ball, folks.
Yep.
So it's full count. I thought he had him on that one.
Yeah, we've seen that called several times. Thought it was a very similar spot, but didn't get the call.
And he drops that curveball, and the batter literally was turning around and heading back to the dugout before it hit the catcher's glove.
Yep, I think he was going to time out fastball and saw that curve and knew probably
He got me.
immediately. Yeah, that's right.
He got me.
Good pitch. Tip the hat to the pitcher.
I'm not gonna wait for it.
Nope. I'll be over here in the dugout.
And so there we go. 2 batters and 2 outs. Let's see if we can continue this success. Shot a new arm slot on that one, it looked like to me. I don't know. And that's ball 1.
All right, Cole. Let's finish him 1, 2, 3.
And that's a little bit high. And the count's 2-0. There's 2 outs. There's nobody on. Misses low on that one, and it's got a 3-0 now. Reset and get this guy.
Yeah, I was watching Cole a little bit. He had a little hitch in his step there. I think he maybe stepped funny, or I'm not sure what happened after the release of that last pitch.
Hits the zone on that one, and the count is 3-1. And now it's time to go to work. Hits the spot on that one, that low inside part of the strike zone, and now it's full. And the hitter's thinking, I'm going to have to swing.
That's right. Yeah, Cole has done a much better job in this inning with his curveball, so I think he's got either curveball or fastball available to him here. Let's see what he comes up with.
He tries to snap the curveball, but misses outside. Not one that the batter's even going to chase on, and that is a walk. And we got one aboard. There's still 2 outs.
Yeah, we're still doing okay here.
And here we go, the 97th courtesy runner.
Yeah, is that the catcher?
Probably
is. That the pitcher? Okay.
No, it's a pitcher. Yep, 21. I think Leo's courtesy run their entire team today.
Well, in a game like this, you absolutely have to courtesy run for catchers and pitchers. I mean, it's a workout right now for the.
Show and bunt, and he fouls that one off. The count is 0-1. Yeah, Graham Collin was charging in on that one.
We've seen
it
Leo
is Bryce
today.
Yoder.
Yes, it is. The non-blonde Bryce Yoder did not recognize him at all. We were trying to figure out what was different. Is that Bryce? Do he has new equipment?
We have a JV guy that came up who's also got number 9. And he goes back to first with a bullet. But that guy was half step off first base.
So California Bryce is gone, and Indiana Bryce is back.
Counts 0-1. And he misses outside. Goes to 1-1. And that one's a grounder to Jaden Leopard, but it takes a crazy hop up his glove. Wiegerts manages to field it in the air off of the glove, but that's going to be either a hit or an error. I don't know which one.
Yeah, I mean, they might score it as an error. It did go right towards him, but, these sharp hit ground balls on a field like this, where it's actually the grass is cut really short, so the bumps are really going to be prevalent. We've had a couple games where the grass is thick and the balls get eaten up, but this is the opposite problem, which is
it's hard ground.
It's a hard ground, and the grass is really low. So that was a quick bad hop, and Jaden couldn't take the last hop out of it.
Yep. Yeah, Carroll kept their grass lush.
Yes.
In the infield. Really caused those grounders to die.
Yeah, that's not going to happen here today.
And that's ball 1. There's 2 runners aboard now with 2 outs. And Homestead really needs to stop this right now. And there's a hard hit ball to center field. And Braden Hardwick is coming in on it and makes the catch for out number 3. And both teams have now an inning with no runs. Both teams have scored in the other 3 innings, and it takes us to the top of the 5th. And we're going to call the top of the 5th, we're going to call the 5th inning the Cooks Delight inning. Normally they're the third inning, but the third inning went poorly, so we aren't going to name it after Cooks Delight. Cooks Delight, of course, our main sponsor here at the Palmer Sports Network. Is Palmer Sports Network or Palmer's Broadcasting Network? Which one?
PSN.
PSN, I think that's PlayStation Network. I don't know that we can get that. Sony might be after us if we call it the PSN.
How about Entirely Sports Network? Is that available?
Entirely Sports ESPN? That's every sport possible network.
Is that taken?
But Cook's Delight soup, of course, fantastic soup base. You've tasted it at restaurants you've gone to and just not known it because they buy it from Cook's Delight to flavor their soups and flavor their foods. You ought to give it a try at home for all of your cooking needs, because you can make yourself some great soup with it from stock, and you can add whatever you want to it, or you can use it to season just about any meal: chicken, beef, lobster, clam, you name it, they've got it. Specialty soup bases for special dietary needs. So give them a call, look them up on the internet. You can order it online, but give them a try.
Yeah, they've been a great sponsor. Looking forward to that RV this summer. Take us to all the baseball games, the Cooks Delight RV.
The Yum Yum and your Tum Tum. And looks like Bryce Yoder, having come into the game, is now batting at the top of the 5th. And true to form, the pitcher drops a curveball in for strike 1 on Yoder.
If he's locating that, he's been very effective when he's been missing. We've been able to get some hits off of him when we force him to go back to fastball.
And what do you think? You almost know that he's going to do it to you, and that's strike 2.
Yeah, 2 curveballs, 2 strikes.
You almost know he's going to do it to you on strike 1. Do you swing at it?
Well, if it's left up, I think you do. I think you go after that.
And he goes fastball, shoots it outside for ball 1. And we need base runners.
Yes, we do.
Because if we're going to chip away, we've got to keep chipping away. And that one's low into the dirt.
Good discipline, Bryce.
Yep, he was thinking about it, but he held 2-2.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. We definitely just want to one better at a time, get a couple of guys on base, see if we can't put up another run or 2 and close that gap.
Pitcher shakes off a couple of calls from his catcher. Goes fastball. Bryce fouls that one off, spoiling it, and the count stays 2-2. And every pitch counts at this point with this pitcher.
Absolutely. You know, Bryce came in for Micah, so this is his first time seeing this pitcher and getting used to his cadence here.
And that one's a called strike fastball inside corner, and that's the first out. So this pitcher's been doing a great job so far today. I think he got stronger after the second inning.
Absolutely.
Coming into the 3rd and the 4th, he's done a great job. His pacing's back there again now, where he's trying to speed it up a little bit. And that one was called strike. I'm not so sure it made the zone, but I think
definitely looked outside.
They got the umpire conditioned now that he's going to throw a curveball for a strike at the first strike of each batter. That ball in the same spot. Fastball, called ball accurately.
Yeah, all right, Graham, we need base runners. Hop on base here.
And Graham's called for swinging at that one.
Okay.
And the count goes to 1-2. Yeah, Graham checked the swing, but the umpire thought he went. Graham calls timeout wisely. The pitcher was shaking off too many signs. Didn't want to stand there too long in a frozen position waiting for the pitch to be delivered. Now the pitcher just goes right back at it. And Graham gets caught swinging at that curveball. And though it was dropped, Graham's out at first, and this pitcher continues his success in this inning.
The curveball is getting us, Dan.
It is. And so that's, we got 2 outs now. Braden Hardwick's up to bat. Need to get something started right here. We got a Mexican standoff going here. And that's a fastball for strike 1. First time we've seen a fastball for that first pitch to a batter in a long time.
Yes. Well, you throw this many curveballs, the fastball looks that much better.
Yes, it does. And he goes 2 fastballs in a row for strike.
Yeah, credit to this pitcher. He's getting stronger. His curveballs got a little bit more bite on it.
He's going to go curveball probably here. Nope, 3 fastballs in a row, but Braden spoils that one by fouling it off. And the count remains 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the top of the 5th. That's fastball. And it's called strike 3.
Yep, hit the outside corner. Pitcher's doing a great job.
He is, and generally what happens is you go through the first time in the order a couple times, maybe a couple innings, and you're struggling with the pitcher, and then you time him out and you figure him out, and then you start getting your hits later in the game. This one, Homestead had all of its hits at the beginning of this game, and the pitcher seems to be getting steadily stronger.
Well, he could not locate curveball early in this game and was just relying on fastball, and we're a good fastball hitting team, but his curveball's gotten better. He's locating it, he's throwing it for strikes, and that just makes his fastball look that much better. And he's at 106, 107 pitches, so
you got to wonder. I see he's just shaking hands right now with the coach over there in his dugout, so I have a feeling his day is over, and we'll be seeing somebody new in the top of the 6th, provided we can get there, because we got to keep them from scoring 5 runs this half inning, because they could end the game if they manage to do that.
That's right. Yeah, normally 5 innings, giving up 9 runs is not a great outing, but in a high-scoring game, in these last couple innings, he's done a great job.
And I would suspect at this point in the game anyway, the difference is probably the freebies. We've hit quite a few batters. We've walked quite a few batters. I would guess that we've hit or walked at least 7 today.
Hits are 8 for the Spartans, 9 for the Lions. So it's 6 errors for the Spartans.
Yep.
And those don't count the pass balls where we've given Leo runners have been able to advance or score. Difference in the game, and both teams have almost been equal on hits. Looks like we've got Tyler Pappenbrook back up at bat.
Looking out in the field, I don't see any new changes. And that one comes in strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, this is a must-have. We can't allow them to score anymore.
And that one's bounces before home plate, gets by the catcher, but that does not matter in this instance because there's nobody on. So the count goes to 1-1.
I was going to give you a pitch count, Cole, but I score is still in the last inning, Dan.
It'll catch up. And Cole hits the spot on that one for a strike. And I got to say, that's a tough ball to hit, and I'm not saying it's because it was such a great pitch. The count is 1-2.
Oh.
And Cole doesn't get that call, and that one looked good from our perspective.
Yeah, must have dove just a little inside because I thought he got him there.
And that's 2-2. Cole tries to throw it past him on the inside, but misses, and the count is full. And the dilemma of the strikeout pitcher. It takes a lot of pitches to be a strikeout pitcher.
Yes.
And he misses on the outside, and Pappenbrock's aboard. First runner on base, no outs.
Yeah, really important for Homestead here to
and we got a pinch runner coming out.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of that, hasn't there?
The entire team gets pinch run for.
Well, I'll tell you, though, that's smart. Tyler Pappenbrook is probably their #1 pitcher, and I don't think they want to risk anything with him sliding into a base somewhere or potentially colliding with an infielder, so get him out of there. I'm sure he's going to be starting Wednesday for them against Bishop Dwenger.
And the batter shows bunt, doesn't pull back, and it was a strike anyway. And it's 0-1.
He's still showing bunt, even in his
he's showing bunt standing in the box.
That's right.
He shows bunt again, and he bunts it foul, misses by a mile, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, lefty pitcher with a lefty batter trying to push that down third base. That's a tough bunt. Much better odds trying to pull that down first base. Oh, shoot.
There's another one thrown away over at first.
Yes.
And the runner's going to make it to third quite easily. And so the walk triple has
that's right.
come into play here.
Yeah, that was that knee lift, step to first move, and we've seen that unfortunately twice now where Cole's kind of throwing it. I don't know if that was a little wide, maybe. I don't know. The first one was high, so that they get 2 bases out of that, and now they've got a runner in scoring position on third base
with no outs, and we don't need them to score any runs. Not helpful to our cause.
No. And I score is still in the last inning.
Oh, they're catching up. That one's low and away.
Just going to give you some information about who this is. It's number 4. This is G. Brown.
Brown's a good hitter. Batting in the 400s. Counts 1-2. And he gets him swinging, but it gets away, and this is going to be a tough play to make, but they make it just in time.
Yes.
And that was good by Bryce to manage to get that throw on target in time under that pressure.
Yeah, and you know what, with the runner on third, I thought they might send him because that was such a late throw, but yeah, great job from Bryce to really move about 2 feet to his left and block that, and then go get the ball about another 10 feet to his left and still throw the runner out at first on that drop third strike.
So that was a strikeout for Cole with a drop third strike and an out at first, and the runner still at third with 1 out. And that one's low for ball 1. And that one's low for ball 2. Seems like Cole's just missing low on these today.
Yeah, I'll pull up the box score here since the ice scoring screen is behind by an inning. So this is Braden Hicks. He's the second baseman. Does not have a hit today.
And that's strike 1 swinging. Counts 2-1. Yeah, you just feel like Cole needs a 1 or 2 good batters in a row where he strikes him out,
right.
and he'll settle in here, get the confidence going. And that one's called ball. We've seen it called other things today.
That's right.
And it goes to 3-1. Cole shakes off one of the signs. And he goes outside
nice pitch,
corner
Cole.
For strike 2, and the count is full.
Yeah, getting out here at the plate, get him to 2 outs, keep that runner where he is at third. That'd be big. It's a big spot for Homestead right here.
Yep, important moment.
Infield is in.
He snaps a curveball in. It's hit foul. That was a great job on the batter's part, spoiling that one.
Yeah, anything hitting the infield, they're coming home. They know the situation as well. I mean, we can't allow them to get another run or 2 here and pull further away. It's gonna.
Yeah, so they have a chance to get best of both worlds because it's not a force at home. So they don't have to go. And that's a hard hit ball to right field. Luke Palmer is back, makes a diving catch, gets the out, but the runner tags up, and the throw comes in time to hold him.
Yes.
So that was a great play by Luke Palmer out there to save that from being a run scored.
Well, and that's a base running error by Leo. So the runner was waiting about halfway to see whether that fell or not, and instead of just going to tag up.
Because he had no need to wait
right.
there because it wasn't going to be close at the plate.
That's right. So if he would have ran back and tagged up, they would have scored. So, but we'll take it. I don't think anybody thought Luke was going to get to that ball.
No, it was pretty far off over there, but a good play by him, and Homestead's got a chance now to get out of this inning without a run. But there's still a run at third, waiting to score, and that's a beauty of a curveball for strike 1. Maybe that'll just be the confidence booster that Cole needs. Knowing that he's got the defense behind him so he can go ahead and pitch.
That's right.
Misses on that one. It gets past the catch. Oh, no, it's a hit by pitch. So the run's
not going to. I'll take that.
It's better than what we thought it was.
That's right. We thought it was a ball in the dirt that got by the catcher, but would have scored.
Yep. And instead, it's a dead ball, so the runner on third cannot move.
Now batting for the Lions, shortstop.
Yeah, so in a way, that's a good break for Homestead.
Yeah, normally that's not a break at all.
Correct.
But in this situation, that's a lucky break. 2 outs still, so if we get the out on this batter, nothing's going to score.
So, Dan, what do you do here if you're Homestead? What do you think Coach Biles got up his sleeves? So runners at the corners, 2 outs. if they steal, do you get the out at second, or do you?
Gonna find out. They're going. They got him on a rundown, but this is a planned rundown. He's out, and there are no run scores because the guy on third was not running home.
No.
Unbelievable.
That's, he's getting an earful from the coach right now about that situation. But you know what? Jaden was doing a good job of chasing the runner down and looking at the runner on third. Because if he would have broke, I'm pretty sure Jaden would have gone home.
I think you're right, but I'm telling you, that guy he got caught watching the show.
Yes, he did. That's twice he did that. He watched Luke make the diving play in right field and watched the rundown.
Yeah, that's 2 opportunities they had to score and 2 that they did not get. And so Homestead dodges some bullets on that one.
Yep.
No run score again for Leo in that inning, so they haven't scored since the third. We're at the top of the 6th now. There's still 2 innings to play as long as the gap stays less than 10. Tyler Pappenbrock coming up to pitch now. Which is a bit of a surprise, but they probably want to get him some throws in to keep him loose.
You know, you're right. That is a little bit of a surprise, but you're right. The game's not until Wednesday, and I'm guessing he's going to close the game here in the 6th and 7th for Leo. Try to slam the door here on Homestead.
Well, hopefully we'll go through the order a couple times this inning, and they'll have to pull him in this inning.
That's right. Now, we like Tyler. He played with a lot of the Homestead boys on the summer team. He's going to Huntington University with a couple of the players on Homestead.
Good, solid pitcher.
Good pitcher, good young man, good family. So you want to see him do well, just not right now.
Exactly. We don't wish any ill on him, but
Not at all.
We don't want him to succeed in the next 2 innings.
No, he's a good pitcher, so Homestead's going to have the work cut out for him to see if they can't score. What are we down, Dan? 5 runs here?
We're still down 5.
Yeah, Tyler's got good fastball. He's a tall lefty pitcher. Got a good curveball, can locate both. He's typically not a pitcher that's going to walk too many batters.
And folks at home, we see we've topped out today so far at 45 viewers, so we appreciate you guys all coming out to watch our game. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And Jake swings at what probably was going to be a ball high.
Yeah, looked a little high.
Takes it foul.
But high inside, Jake can hit that. So counts 0-1 to Jake. We need to find a way to get some base runners here. That was a ball low. We've seen that. That's in that part of the zone that's been called both ways today. That was a curveball for a swinging strike. Jake's just got to grind this at bat out. New pitcher, a lefty pitcher. That's Jake. Fastball high. Jake fouls it off. Great job. And I hit the wrong button on the scoreboard. I'll catch up here in a second. Stretch that out. Shortstop's going back. Does make the play. So that is an out for Homestead. That was a curveball low. Jake did a pretty good job just to get the bat on it, as that is in that part of the zone that could have been called for a strike. But didn't quite get enough on it. Shortstop backtracked good 20 feet and made the catch. So we're back to the top. Jaden Lepper needs to find a way to get on base. We need some runs. Curveball for a strike. Fastball low. That was too low. We know there's that lower part of the zone's been questionable going back and forth, but that was definitely low and out of the zone. Curveball low. Jane's now ahead, 2-1. Again, need base runners here. Another low pitch.
Yeah, we're at that point in the game where we can't afford to go an inning without putting some runs up. Just have to. Don't want to go into the top of the 7th down 5 runs.
That's right.
Jaden hits a sharp grounder between the third baseman and the shortstop, and he is aboard.
Yeah, that was a good at-bat for Jaden. Peppenbrick was throwing it low, trying to nibble those bottom corners, and left that one up just a little bit, and Jaden got the bat on the ball and got a single. So what you missed, Dan, and when you stepped away real quick, is Jake Goody got behind and curveball came in low. He did extend the bat, but infield, it was a fly ball to the shortstop, had to back about 10 feet.
Carter fouls that first pitch off.
Tyler's got a good slide step, so he's going to try to keep Jaden short and pitch quick.
And of course, Jaden and Tyler know each other well. They played with each other all summer long on the same team. And he goes back to first, keeping his buddy honest.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Coach Bile plays this, if how aggressive he is with stealing, since we just need base runners.
Yeah, can't afford to get out on the bases at this point.
But you also want to take the double play out.
You want to take double play out, and you want runners in scoring position, not standing on first if you don't have to. And that's ball high.
I'm not sure there's a good steal opportunity against Tyler here with the slide step.
And he's lefty facing first base, so he gets to watch you the whole time. But I do like that he's certainly got Jaden on his mind, and he missed by a bit on that last pitch. I would call that a distracted pitch.
Yes.
And the pitcher steps off.
Yeah, we're at the top of our order. We definitely need some production here. Hopefully Carter can get a hold of one here.
And that one's called on the outside corner, and the count is 1-2. So they've definitely, for Carter, they have been pitching him outside all day.
Yes, they have.
I think they made one mistake where he put the one to the wall. But other than that, they've been doing a good job of making him try and get the hit off that outside pitch. Jaden goes. That one's in the dirt. There's a bad throw to second, and Jaden is safe. Now we have a runner at second. Counts 2-2, and there's one out.
Yeah, hats off Homestead, Coach Bile, still being aggressive. I know that's a risk, but at this point you probably maybe got to be aggressive and take a few risks here and there.
Yep, and nice to have the runner in scoring position now. Got a chance to maybe bring this run in with a nice hit by Carter. Carter fouls that one off. Third baseman runs over to the sidelines, but it's well out of play. And you know the sun's not beating down on us, but it's getting warm.
Yeah, a little bit. Not too bad. Again, I'll take this any day, Dan, over most of our spring weather.
DeKalb when we were sitting there in the cold rain. Carter fouls that one, but it is caught by the catcher, and he's out.
Yeah, good. That was a good curveball. Carter tried to stretch out and get it. Had to swing with 2 strikes, and just Peppenbrick made a good pitch.
He did. That brings up Caleb Colpine now with 2 outs and a runner on second. Again, if you got to have a guy up to bat in a pressure situation,
that's right,
in a crucial spot in the game, you wouldn't pick anybody but Caleb on this team as your number 1 for that spot. And that one's low and inside.
Yeah, Tyler's definitely working these lefty hitters with a lot of curveballs. That's, a lot of lefty hitters aren't used to seeing lefty pitchers and those curveballs, and good for us to go against Tyler, good pitcher. Catcher set up outside.
And that one's called strike, outside corner, and the count is 1-1.
All right, Caleb.
Caleb hits a hard ball to left field. The left fielder's going way back. He's going way back. He's at the warning track, but he gets under it for the out. So that was a well-struck ball with a chance, I thought, to get out of here.
Yeah, just got under it just a little bit. Opposite field. Again, a lefty pitcher with that lighter than anything. So it's moving away from those lefty hitters.
So the score going into the bottom of the 6th remains 14-9. And this Homestead team, after that one big inning where we gave up 6 runs, has not been able to dig out of the hole.
And we have a new pitcher, and making his first varsity appearance is Colton Berger.
And you know Colton Berger, don't you?
I do, yeah. He's another sophomore. There's a lot of really good sophomore baseball players that I know from over the years watching them play with my son Jake, who doesn't play baseball anymore, but he played ball with a lot of these kids, such as Bryce Yoder and Jake Goody. We saw Griffin Tinkle the other night, and here's Colton Berger making his varsity appearance. So they've the blue team. We're going to see another one that's been called up, get some varsity time, see what the future of Homestead looks like.
And what kind of pitches can these batters expect to see from Colton?
Colton's got a good fastball. He's also got a good curveball, and I have not seen him pitch yet this year, but I've talked to several people, said he's having a very good season, good control over his curveball. So we'd like to see him come in and get a good appearance here for Homestead, and I'm sure he's got the nerves going a little bit, making that varsity appearance for the first time.
Well, and he's got his work cut out for him. He's going to be pitching in not only varsity, but against, I'm going to say, possibly the best hitting team we have faced this season.
I 100% agree. We've seen Cathedral, we've seen Hamlet Southeastern, we've seen Fishers.
Nobody's put the bat on the ball like these guys.
No, I 100% agree with that. You know, I know we helped them out a little bit with some freebies and some errors, so that tilts it a little bit. But they've matched us for hitting, which not many teams have done. Even in our losses this year, Dan, we've out-hit teams.
Yeah, and I actually have gone through the stats, and in the games we've played, we've been out-hit exactly 5 times.
Yeah. All right, Colton, show us what you got.
Brings in the first one for a ball high.
So we've got sophomore pitching to sophomore catcher, both really good ball players. Glad they're getting some time together here on the varsity squad.
And he hits the zone on that one for a swinging strike. It was a nice pitch.
That was. And Coach Bile wants to make sure that the substitutions were brought in appropriately. Anyone else, Dan? It looks like the infield's the same.
I don't see any other changes in the field right now.
So that'd just be Colton Berger in for Cole Elkins.
It's possible they're questioning the batting order?
Yeah, maybe there's something going on here with the Leo order.
And some of the Homestead fans obviously know the batter because they're saying, sorry, Cody, you're out. And he is if he's batting out of order. But I think Coach Bile's signaling my bad.
So it looks like the Homestead scorebook and the Leo scorebook were not on the same page.
Maybe Homestead's waiting for iScore to update.
Well, I hope not, because I think iScore's still at the Northridge game.
How are we doing up there?
It's a good game, Dan, but heading to the 7th.
All right, so we're back to this game. Counts 1-1. And there's another swinging strike. And Colton settling in nicely.
Absolutely.
Something deceptive about these pitches. And he goes curve on that one.
Yep, little low, but that's a really good pitch when you're head 1-2 there.
See if you get him chasing.
Absolutely.
Counts 2-2. And he goes for a curveball again, and that one does not quite drop in.
Yeah, a little high.
Yeah, but I've seen that one called a strike today. And then he misses low on that last one. There's a runner aboard.
Well, we'll see if Colton tries any pickoff moves here. He is a lefty pitcher, so.
Got a good view of what the
Absolutely.
runner's doing over there. So he goes into the stretch. He has that big leg kick, and there's a bunt attempt, but ill-advised because that ball almost hit home plate. And that's 0-1 for the count to this batter.
Is that number 9 at the plate, Dan? Looks like that's.
Yes, it is. It's the catcher.
Quentin Peters. So this is the 3 hole.
And he shows bunt again, but this time he does not swing.
They call a balk there. Runner's advancing to second, but he's walking. So I think they call the balk.
So that's should be a no pitch. They've got a ball on the official scoreboard of the field, but I think the umpire's calling 0-1. There it goes. And that is a bunt laid down nicely, but it rolls foul of the third base line.
Yeah, you know what I'll give credit to Leo for? They've got the bats to hit, but they're also not afraid to bunt the ball and put some pressure on the defense.
Yeah, when I look over that third base line, and frankly the first base line also, they're both on a ridge on the ground.
Yes, you're right.
So if you know how to play this field,
yes, you're right. There's
it's going to roll in if you get it on the inside of the line.
Yeah, for the golfers out there, you can definitely have to play that.
Counts 0-2. Gets him swinging at a high one, which he fouls off.
Play that break in the putting green there. That's going to roll from the baseline back towards the pitching mound. So yeah, if you know what you're doing, you could send it foul and let it roll back in fair. You know, from a greenskeeper or groundskeeper standpoint, depending which sport you're talking about, that's a nice curveball fouled off. 0-2, the count remains. Maybe you mow the grass on the inside of your line over there a little deeper, so that it helps keep the ball fair. Right, if you're a
bunting team.
And they are. I mean, they can hit, but they how many bunts or bunt attempts have they had?
Tons,
This game, Dan?
tons. We've seen them show bunt probably 7-8 times. There's a throwback to second. Thought maybe they got the base runner crossed up a little bit there, which they sort of did. He was falling over backwards.
It was a good spin move by Colton. I think he was staring him down a little bit too much, but.
And there's a pitch that comes onto the plate, and it's a hot shot to right center. Nobody's going to be able to make a play on it, but Luke gets on one hop, and he throws it into the cutoff. So nobody's going to get to second, even though the throw was not caught at second, but the run scores.
Yeah, a good piece of hitting. That was hit to the fence in the right center gap. I think Colton left that one up just a little bit, so that's what we did not want to see, Dan.
Yep.
Another run on the board for Leo, so their leads now to 6.
Yep, and now it's getting tough, real tough to make up that kind of difference in an inning, and that's all Homestead has left. And frankly, there's still no outs in this inning, and there's a runner aboard and a run scored.
Ooh.
I think he might have had him if he threw that throw.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't, but
maybe he just didn't have good grip on the ball.
It was almost a perfect pitch out.
I think I heard that first base coach scream, "Back!"
Yes.
He knew his guy was had. And there we go. There's a rundown now between first and second. And he is out.
Good move, Colton.
It was a great move by Colton. Caleb caught it on the run and actually bobbled it a bit in his hand, but he has the presence of mind to stay with it, knows he got to stay with it. He gets the ball back in his hand, good grip, throws a nice bullet right to Jaden, right where it needed to be to get that out.
Yeah, Colton did that knee lift, step to first move that a lot of lefty pitchers can do so effectively, and caught him. That was ball high.
And the scoreboard has it at 2-0. I must have missed one there. I had mine at 1-0. And that's a ball high, and that takes the count to 3-0.
Well, that was big because that would have gotten a runner in a scoring position. Looks like that was a steal bunt situation.
And he misses on ball 4 straight. And now we got a runner back on first.
Well, do it again, Colton.
Yep.
Pick him off.
What do you think? Is Leo going to show bunt again here? Still only one out.
Yeah, good question.
Looks like we might be pinch running for the
shocked.
first base coach.
Or is that 21 still? Courtesy runner, but they have a new pitcher in.
Yeah,
so
the
that would be
21's
a
no
pinch
longer
running.
the pitcher.
Yeah, that is pinch running
And
now.
obviously we have no idea what the high school rules are on this, because by now they would have subbed their entire team in. They'd have a new team on the field.
Yeah, I don't think there must not be a limit to the number of times you can substitute in and out.
Certainly not enforced. And that's a well-struck ball right in the gap between left and center. It's up in the air high enough that Braden Hardwick,
very nice.
or Jake Goody makes the play on that one. Both of them were over there crossing up between Jake and Braden, but they split it up nicely, and Jake made the catch. And there's 2 outs now, and the base runner holds at first.
Yeah, off towards the fence, but Jake Goody did a great job of getting in there. It was left up in the air just long enough. So
how many
2 outs.
How many gap shots has this team hit? You know, where yesterday, that was called strike one, or not yesterday, a couple days ago up in Northridge, we had so many balls hit right at batters out in the outfield. Very nicely struck balls. This team seems to hit everything at the gaps.
Yeah, I've been impressed all day long with their hitting, all the way through the order.
And so the count's 1-1. And that's a sharply struck grounder to Jaden Lepper. He fields it, throws it over to first, and gets the out. And the runners go down, the batters go down. I'll call it 1-2-5.
Right. Yeah, I was a little nervous. Again, a hard hit ground ball on this infield. You know, just the bad hops, the potential for a hop. You're just not sure what you're going to get, but.
Because Jaden had to take that one pretty deep, and thankfully that base runner was the batter was not on the swift side, so he had extra time to not be pressured to make a throw there.
Absolutely. Well, top of the 7, this is it, Dan.
This is it.
And then Tyler Pappenbrook's back on the mound, so he's I would generally say he's their #1 pitcher, so we're going to have to score 6 runs against Leo's best pitcher. So this is a tall order for Homestead. I'd like to see them just one bat at a time, grind things out, see if we can't get a few base runners and a few timely hits, and you never know what might happen.
Yeah, we're starting at 4, 5, 6 in the order. Wiegert's hit a hard ball today. Palmer's hit a hard ball today. Micah, who's not in anymore, Yoder's in his place. Maybe we can get something started here.
Absolutely. Brennan's a good player to put here in this spot. He's hit leadoff before in the actual lineup. He's been in the 4 spot for a while, but aggressive hitter and pretty disciplined. So Brennan's just got to find a way to get on base somehow.
Yeah, certainly have confidence in him for the leadoff hitter in general, and for this inning, I'm happy with that. So here we go, last chance. We need to use these every at bat.
Absolutely.
Carefully and aggressively. So Pap goes into the windup, and the first pitch is certainly going to be a strike, but
right off the toe maybe.
Wiegert fouls it off right into his own toe.
I think he's okay. You see some hitters wear those ankle guards,
shin guards, ankle guards, foot guards. Looks like he's kind of working that ankle a little bit over on the side.
Yeah, fastball outside part of the plate. Like to see Brennan being aggressive there. So,
and the count is 0-1, no outs. The catcher's literally laying down behind home plate now, and that's call is 1-1 ball.
He's got that outstretched leg, kind of seated type position, almost literally seated in the dirt.
And that one's low into the dirt. Ball 2, and the count's 2-1.
You know, I'm always amazed catchers that do that. They don't have a ton of lateral movement available to them.
Yeah.
But they are already down there for balls that are in the dirt.
Yeah, if their pitcher misses significantly, they got no chance.
Correct.
But maybe that's a function of trust your pitcher.
If you're probably only 8 to 10 inches off the plate either side, you're already down there and can get over it pretty easily.
Counts 2-1. That was a hanging curveball. Wiegert gets under it. Maybe some trouble out there, but it looks like the center fielder. Yep, he got under it to make the play, and that is out number 1. Homestead's down to 2 outs.
That's right. Well, you'd love to get that leadoff hitter on base somehow, but maybe we can restart here and see if Luke can't find a way to get on.
Yeah, we're going to have to restart here. You got no choice.
That's right.
So let's go, Luke. Drive one here. And that's that low strike called. 0-1. Goes for it again and hits it, and the count is 0-2.
Yeah, inside, outside. Tyler's hitting his spot, so.
And Luke's got himself way behind here. And they get him with that one, and it's strike 3, and suddenly Homestead has 2 outs. And Micah Long back in the lineup.
All right, Micah. Even with 2 outs, let's get on base.
There's a name for this, and it's called a 2-out rally. And that's a called strike.
We need everyone to turn their Cook's Delights hats upside down and backwards, please.
And that's called strike inside. And Pappenbrock's doing a nice job so far this inning. We're down to our last strike. And he goes for inside. Micah spoils that one.
Yeah, he did. The catcher started to set up outside, but Tyler kind of dropped it inside, so he might have missed his spot, but still an effective pitch. Good job for Micah to foul that off.
Counts 0-2. There's 2 outs. That one's high for ball 1. Let's go, Micah. Your team needs you.
That's right. He's trying to get him to chase up there. Good discipline for Micah to.
And he catches him swinging at a curveball.
Yep.
Strike 3, and that ends the inning, and that ends the game. Well played game by Leo. They sort of played it end to end. Homestead started off strong with the bats, did not start off great with defense. And the difference in the game was that Homestead gave up a few freebies that ended up costing us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably pretty close to an even game without those freebies. It's be tough to tell. We'd have to go back to the scorebook and see. I know we had, I believe, 6 errors and a couple freebies. So we'll see the next game here coming up. But yeah, without those errors and those freebies, I think this is a pretty tight game. Probably both teams right around that 9-10 on the scoreboard. But Leo did out-hit us and had better pitching and defense. They played a clean game.
Yeah, and so if Homestead wants to win the second of this doubleheader, they're going to have to step it up and play a good solid game on both sides of the ball rather than just on one side of the ball. We got a signal from the umpire that the next game is going to start at 1:15. I'm sure he was letting us know. He was saying 1:15 to us, and
yes.
We weren't sure what that meant. But I'm divined that he meant 1:15 is going to be the start of the next game.
Yes, I think you're right there.
So we could tell our viewers. So, folks, we're going to go off here, and we'll be back right around 1:15. I plan to kill this stream and start a new one, just to let you know. So you'll need to go out to Twitter or check your text messages for the new stream. The reason I'm going to do that is to stop the data pouring out of my phone so that AT&T doesn't throttle us anymore, because I, of course, purchased the unlimited plan, but they throttle me when I use too much data.
There you go.
Because I'm not sure what unlimited means.
Right. Well, we'll see how Homestead responds. Game 2 in about 45 minutes, so we'll catch everybody then.
All right. Thanks for joining us, folks, and we will be back. I don't know who. Yes, we do. We can track you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude the 2021 Leo baseball season, we'd like to take a few moments and recognize our senior baseball players along with their parents today between games. Our first senior today is Gannon Brown. Gannon is being escorted today by Matt and Shelley Brown.